show up and I'm like, what up here is a terrible idea.
And we're live. Thank you so much.
I thought you were doing announcements.
Hi guys,
Yes.
welcome to Indigo Chameleon. It is Tuesday night, and it's time for a little wonder as we dive into Wonderland with these amazing heroes. For a little 5e D&D. We have a few announcements before we get started with tonight's game. You can hang out with us not only here on Twitch, but you can hang out with us on our Discord. Our Discord has all sorts of fun things, including like a memes channel, an inspiration channel that I go to at least a couple of times a day. Hello, Wolfgren, T.E. Graves, Miss Audie. Welcome to everybody that's been joining us. And a big thank you to everybody that's been subscribing. Nina Tolstoy, you should be asleep, but we're glad you're here. Thank you so much for everybody that's been for September and subscribing and telling friends and purchasing subscriptions for friends. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you. H-Kin, hey, welcome. You can hang out with us on the Discord. We also have a shop that's got cool things like this mug and other mugs
Like
and
this one?
stickers and that mug and cool shirts like the
This
one
is not
Indigo
on
was
my
wearing.
though.
That's not on there yet, but it could be.
I was just very thirsty.
You'll have to visit the shop and check out and support some of your awesome Indigo merchandise and represent our good buddy Karma, our little chameleon, non-binary chameleon god.
This is Impish Karma.
Impish Karma. Hang out with us there. We've got a few announcements about upcoming shows this week. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow, you can catch me, your good buddy Scribe, over on the Plaster Dragon, doing their urban fantasy game set in modern day Boston. Something wicked this way comes. So that is tomorrow night. You can catch me there. Thursday night, we have Into the Vault, a live recording of a podcast done by our very own Garrison, who plays Slowpoke in the Never campaign. He and I are going to be doing a live version of his podcast where we talk about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. We talk about our favorite obscure Disney films. So if you want to come with us and nerd out a little bit about Disney films, you can certainly do that on Thursday. Friday night is going to be a trip back to Neverland. We are finishing up the second half of that dungeon on Friday with Never, and we are going to be doing it with just the right amount of people at the table.
I'd be concerned.
Perfect. If there was one more person, it would have been perfect, but like just the right amount they should survive.
It got really cold in here just now.
Completely.
I need a jacket.
Do you taste petties?
Are you having a stroke?
Wolfgren, thank you for 7 months subscribing on the channel. You are the best, dude. And Brian, thank you so much for continuing your gift subscription. That's awesome. So get that Indigo Pride shirt. Heck yeah. So that's happening on Friday. On Sunday, we have the debut of a brand new campaign here on the channel. Indigo Pen and Paper. Our very own Big Mike is sitting in the DM seat, and once a month, on a Sunday, it's usually going to be the third or fourth Sunday of the month, he's doing a old school D&D campaign. No technology, everything's done pen and paper, graph paper, some of the old school modules, like we don't even know what characters we're playing. We're rolling them in session 0 on Sunday. It's going to be 4 o'clock on Sunday. It's going to be like 4 to 9. So tune in for a little pen and paper D&D with Big Mike sitting in the DM chair. It's going to be crazy. And then there's spots, or there is a spot for a revolving cast member. So you may see some people here from time to time in that once a month game. I don't want to say where it's set, but if you know D&D, it's a doozy. So I don't expect to live very long.
Is there a dragon?
It's in a dragon.
No.
It's in the dragon.
No.
It's in a
It is a dragon inside of. So Big Mike, I'm really looking forward to sitting in the DM chair, and he's got some ideas that are so good. I'm stealing them for my campaign. I've never heard of some of these things before. So tune in for that on Sunday. On Monday, we go back around to me playing some video games. There's probably going to be me playing some Undertale, or perhaps I'm thinking about going old school. I like playing Undertale. I might have to finish out Undertale, but I may also start Kingdom Hearts, like the original Kingdom Hearts, like, and just play all of them, like Kingdom Hearts 1, and then go into Kingdom Hearts 2, and like, all just hang out
was
and
gonna say Crash
play
Bandicoot.
video games, and then maybe some Crash Bandicoot.
I love Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, but so tune in for that as Scribe plays some games on Monday. And then Tuesday, we cycle back around to Wonder. I think that's it for announcements. Gang. Once upon a time, in Wonderland, a group of heroes have found themselves in a very precarious situation. When last we left this group, Enwin and Thoe had made their way to a portion of the forest that had been saved from total annihilation. They had spent a little bit of time getting to know the druids of the Circle of the Broken Moon that had been working to protect and turn this forest into a bit of a sanctuary of sorts, saving all of the trees in this area. And Thoe and Enwin, having rested there for the evening, had heard from the caterpillar that they should approach a entity in the forest that was a very strong entity and a force of power, and that perhaps maybe entreating it to assist them in protecting what they hoped to be the birthplace of the new Mother Tree. Thoe and Enwin did approach this place, and in there they encountered the very first green dragon to ever set foot in Wonderland, to their knowledge. They did not get this dragon's name, however, they did get the name of the dragon that is currently residing within it. I think it's Ulrig. Ulrig is a bronze dragon that was let out of its cage for a brief seconds before the green dragon asserted its dominance over it. Barely escaping with their lives, they made their way out of the cave and over to the central area of the forest. Meanwhile, the rest of the team made their way to the forest, where they encountered an army of the Queen's making trying to approach the forest. They ran into an old friend, and so who for the most part seemed like they were all on the same page. However, there was some cross dealings and twists and turns, and as the team made their way into the forest, Enzo used this moment of distraction to mount his own assault on the forest. The forest is now teeming with soldiers on either side. This group has learned and has communicated with Thoe and Enwin that this was merely a diversion, and that the real invading force is coming from the other side of the forest. A small contingent of this group has run towards the caterpillar, who it looks like he is being assaulted by a small goblin that looks somewhat familiar to a few of them. And not only that, but on the other side of the forest is a group of soldiers led by a woman who recognizes Grimm. So what I want to do is I want to retcon a little bit as we jump into tonight's game. Mandrake, you have cast Expeditious Retreat on yourself. So what that means is you would actually be arriving there before Grimm, before anyone else does, and you'd be able to see this group. What we calculated it out to is that you have about 2 moves before the rest of the group were to arrive at this spot. So I need to know how you're approaching this.
If I see them before they see me, then I would duck behind a tree or...
Give me a perception check first, as you can try to spot. They're not doing anything to hide. So this is going to be a lower DC than if it was a group of, say, assassins making their way into the forest.
Perception?
Perception.
27.
27. Yeah, you easily spot them. Do you start slowing down and hiding?
I would immediately slow down and duck behind a tree or behind a rock.
Give me a stealth check as you hide behind a tree.
21.
Yeah, you think you're hidden for the most part. You found a nice little spot off to the side. I will say with your perception check being as good as it is, you see a woman who seems to be in the lead of this group of individuals. She's the only one not wearing heavy armor. She's wearing what looks to be like a brown tunic up top that's loosely fitting. She's got green pants on, blonde hair, and her eyes are sparkling with this almost animalistic light to them. She's leading a group of 3 individuals that you can see, all wearing armor emblazoned with the heart's insignia upon them. She's leading the group forward and walking slowly towards the forest. They are all in conversation.
Okay.
You have about 6 seconds here. If you would like to take an action, I think before you know the rest of the group is coming, and they ain't coming stealth.
I'm gonna pull out my shell phone.
Okay.
Oh no, they're running. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand on the other side of them, as far as I can go with my Mage Hand.
Okay.
Lift a rock and drop it, and Mage Hand disappear.
I will say that you're able to manifest and almost like throw. Just for fun, give me an attack roll. As you just pick up a rock, you're trying to make a little bit of noise.
Just a straight attack.
Yep.
Unarmed strike.
Yeah, just a
Okay.
ranged attack roll.
Okay.
Roll a d20, add your proficiency, and add your dexterity to it.
Okay, so 14 would be 18.
Dude, that's plenty.
Yeah.
You just take this rock, and this is just seeing how well you can aim it as you throw it off to the side, and there's a ting, 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 as it hits against a tree. As that happens, the woman standing up front holds her hand up, and
I want to make sure that it's behind them, so they turn and look the other way.
I will say yes. For the most part, she stops and turns around and looks, and as she does, she twirls her hand, and the 3 standing there all pull out swords and turn around and look with her. So now their backs are facing you. That's very clever. I need everybody to go ahead and roll the initiative for me. We're going to break this down as such. I need you to tell me when you roll initiative where you are and what group you are in. Is that understood?
Yep.
Okay. So, Enwin, what's your initiative and where are you?
I rolled 6, and I am heading towards Mandrake.
Okay, so you're with the group that's over there, like sort of on the edge of the forest.
Yeah.
Got it. Mandrake, what'd you get?
I rolled a 10.
Okay.
You know where
I know where you are. There you go. Thoe, where are you at?
17, protecting the caterpillar.
Caterpillar. I need you to roll me 2 initiatives, please. Yeah.
Okay.
You're over where the caterpillar is, and what did you get again, Thoe? 17?
17.
17. Got it.
Nice.
Grim.
Nat 20. And
Nat 20.
And I'm at the edge of the forest.
You're at the edge of the forest. You are going first, my dude.
God. I mean, yay.
You do not have to. You can always like bump
Yep,
yourself down to it. Okay.
I'm prepared.
And Day.
I got a 5,
Okay.
and I thank you. And I am following Enwin and Mandrake to the edge.
Okay. 5. So you're gonna bring up the rear here. Stop it.
It's the
Nix,
heels.
where are you at?
I got a 14,
14.
and then the other one's 9 on the die.
Okay, that's Flint.
Yeah. What do I add or do you add for that?
I add for
Okay.
that. He's still gonna be coming up near the end. Okay.
Those are all.
These are all sounds.
Sure are.
Knights go here. She goes here. And then I need. Okay, gang. Here's what happens. Okay, as this group comes up, the Knights group, we're gonna try to do this so that each group is gonna get a couple of rounds of combat. We're gonna try to keep things moving so that I can move back and forth. I've done battles before. I've never done 2 battles where half the group is in one place and half the group is in the other. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get through a couple rounds of combat for each, and then switch over to the other side. Okay? When you're rolling attacks, make sure you're rolling damage at the same time, just in case that attack lands. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. That being said, When you all show up, Grim, you are the first person to arrive on the scene. You see a group of individuals turned around and facing the opposite direction from you. You do not see Mandrake Madigan. He is hidden. You know that he ran ahead. But Grim, this is what you see. You see a blonde woman. She's sort of looking out at the distance, and 3 people all wearing suits of armor with swords in hand and a heart insignia.
Am I catching like the back part of her or like a profile? Or
Back part of her. She's turned around completely.
is this
I'm treating this as a surprise round
Okay.
for every single one of you, and you will each get, because Mandrake did the smart thing here, and instead of taking the one himself, he set you guys up for a win.
smelling her? Like, would I know like who this person is or like
You
being
are too
familiar?
far away.
Okay.
However, if you want to use a bonus action to try to identify her and burn your bonus action, I would allow that. But now she's turned to the back of you. You don't even know if this is just who this is, other than the fact that they're representing the kingdom.
Okay. So, how far away am I from these people? Like a pretty solid distance, or am I like in?
I will have you stumble up and be coincidentally 30 feet from where they are.
Okay. So I'm gonna, as I'm running, we come up to a halt and just kind of look around and gauge kind of who's around me, not
There is
seeing.
nobody around you.
Christ. And
Give me
I'm
a perception
outnumbered.
check as a free action.
Okay.
You know the rest of the group is right behind you.
Okay, that is going to be a 23
Yeah.
perception.
You actually see Mandrake sort of hidden off to a tree, and he's like peeking over the side looking, but you manage to just catch a little bit of his tunic in the underbrush, like his cloak.
Then if that's the case, I'm gonna be like, and I'm just gonna just pop over because I can jump pretty far because I'm
You
still
can
shifted.
Jump pretty far. Yep.
So I'm gonna jump towards. I haven't been spotty. I'm gonna jump towards Mandrake, and see if I can like crouch on the brush with
That's
him.
going to be your move.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a stealth check. I'd say it's very easy for you to jump over to where this area is.
That is gonna be a 24.
Yep. You are Mandrake. You're looking around and you're like sort of paying attention. You turn your head to the side to look over the clearing, and Grim's like, "What are we doing?" Like.
Hey, what's up?
That is your move, Mandrake.
Okay, so tell me if I can or can't do this. I think it's okay.
Okay. It's
so,
not okay.
Okay.
Fair.
So she's here,
She's here.
3 guards here,
3 guards in front of her.
and I'm over here.
Yes.
Okay, so the guards are actually farther away from me than she is.
Correct.
Okay, so I am going to cast Fog Cloud, but I'm going to center it about 15 feet past them. So the 3 guards are obscured.
What
and
is the
she's by
range on
herself.
Fog Cloud?
120 feet.
Okay. You center this little fog cloud into this area. You cast the spell, and they all look a little shaky and panicky. You're centering it on the guards themselves,
I'm centering it past the guards, so they're caught in it.
but she is not.
She is not. We can still see her, but the rest of her people are obscured.
Understood. Okay. That is your move. You doing anything with your bonus action?
Hiding.
Okay. Give me another stealth check. Because you just cast a spell here.
18.
18. Okay. Yep, for the most part, you are good to go. Okay. Enwin,
Okay, can I panic as a free action?
you can panic
Okay,
as
cool.
much as you
You can
want.
do that out of character too. It's a lot of fun.
So I can see her now.
I would say you can see her, and you saw Grim jump over to a spot and then just sort of hide in the trees.
Okay, cool.
But you see her, and she's crouched down at the ground at this site of the fog in front of her. She's kind of like sniffing the air.
Did I see where they were?
You
Before-
saw where Grim jumped to.
I mean, did I see where the guards were?
You did, yes.
Okay, cool. So then I am going to cast Synaptic Static,
Okay.
which is a 40-foot sphere.
Is this an attack roll or a saving throw?
It's a saving throw.
Okay.
It is a...
You would be able to hit all of them, including her, in this 40-foot sphere.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Yep.
It's an intelligence saving throw for all of them versus 17.
Don't you dare neuter this combat for
I'm
me.
gonna roll my 86, or my 88,
Okay,
excuse me.
go ahead.
Oh, right. These are, I got this backwards. I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was that. Same.
No, go ahead. How about I start rolling
You
saving
start
throws?
saving, and
What is the DC?
17.
Okay. Okay.
$27.
Okay, 2 of them fail.
Okay.
She does not fail, and one of the other knights does not fail.
Okay.
So they each take 27 points of damage. If not, they take half.
Yeah. There.
Okay.
And then a target that failed has muddle thoughts for a minute. During that time, it rolls a d6 and subtracts that number rolled from all of its attack rolls and ability checks as well as its Constitution saving throws.
God
to maintain
damn.
concentration.
Got it.
It can make an intelligence saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success.
Do you roll that d6 for me? Or do you roll that d6 for the two, or they roll that d6? Is there? Say
It
that.
rolls a d6.
It rolls a d6. Got it. Okay. That is your turn. Day.
Hey, so as my bonus action, the first
Oh
thing
wait,
I'm
hang
gonna
on.
No, no,
Sorry.
no, you're fine.
Bonus action.
Nope, you're fine.
No, please go ahead.
Nope.
Are you doing anything with your movement?
I'm going to not be very close to it. I'm
Okay.
going to take a few steps back and
You're gonna cast and then back up into the forest a
haha,
little
screw
bit.
you! Also,
Fine.
now you can see me.
Sure, you don't want to do anything with your bonus action.
I don't have anything to do with my bonus action.
Sure. Okay. Day, go ahead.
As my bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and cast Healing Word at 3rd level for my good plant friend here. So that is going to be 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then, so you'll take 12.
Nice.
And then, where are you? I would like to cast Bane at 2nd level.
Is
so
this a cantrip?
this is an action.
Okay. You've used a bonus action.
Yeah.
You can cast a spell, and then you can do a cantrip. So healing word was your
Okay, because I can't do a
spell,
bonus action spell and I can't do a regular spell.
Unless one's a cantrip.
unless one's a cantrip.
Ah.
So you still have your action left.
Then at this point, she'd probably use her action to like bob and weave, duck behind something because that's not gonna work then. Okay, yeah. So she's also gonna follow suit and hide behind a tree.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll at disadvantage based I think on your armor. No, not on that armor. You're good.
It's 18.
18 on stealth. Oh, indeed. Okay. Yep. So you're hiding. Yep. Okay. That brings us back around to the top of the order. Right now, Grim, Mandrake, and Day are hiding, and Enwyn has taken a few steps backward as she turns around and stares directly at his face. Takes us back to the top of the order with Grim. You're up first.
Mandrake, what's going on? Dang. Okay. Then, if she's turned back around,
Tell
do
you
I-
what, you can respond, but you're not allowed to speak on your turn.
Okay.
Speaking is a free action, but you won't be able to respond or say or shout out anything.
Can I change it before you do this? That way you don't have
Yeah,
to
go
do that?
ahead,
Okay.
go
She's turned around, as you said. So,
She's turned around and facing towards Enwyn.
okay. Do I recognize her at all a little bit?
Sure, yeah, you recognize her. It's been about a year and a half and some change, but
Word, okay.
she looks like the same person that was hanging out with Enzo.
Oh, God. Okay. No, I mean, I'm going to go. I'm just going to start making my way towards her.
Good.
And,
Okay. She sees you walking towards her, and she sort of bends down a little bit. It looks like she bends her knees. She's not carrying any weaponry that you can see.
okay.
And she gives a big smile as you walk forward.
Back down, please.
Give me an intimidation check.
I did say please. Intimidation, death. Back down, please. It's 10,
Okay.
maybe?
She hits her knees.
Don't be with them. You're part of the Were Touched.
She hits her knees and puts her hands out.
I'm going to keep walking towards her.
Okay. Great. You're gonna get right up next to her?
Yeah, as close as I can get.
Got it. All right. That is your turn, Grim. The knights, on their turn, are going to be a little confused about where they are. Two of them need to roll. What happens on this spell again?
Fail.
They roll a d6.
It is subtracted from attack rolls, ability checks, and Constitution saving throws.
Got it. Okay. They are going to stand there confused and look to the woman, and they are going to hold actions for their move. She is going to, with her arms up, looking over at Grim, who's now standing in front of her, point both of her fingers, and all three of them are going to make attacks against you. I will subtract those numbers that I rolled on the d6 from that.
Question.
Yep,
I obscured them with fog cloud. Can they see any of these commands? I'm genuinely asking.
she walked forward, and
Okay,
they walked
forward with
out of
okay.
the range of the fog.
Okay.
The only reason that I think that they were able to do that is because they were able to follow the sound of Grim's voice
Okay.
screaming, "Hey, come here a little bit," and they walked forward towards the sound.
Okay.
Okay. Grim, buddy,
Make it
does
happen.
this
Gavin.
count for every attack done by them, or just the first attack?
Each attack.
Each attack. Okay, Grim,
Yep.
one of them is going to bring their great sword forward,
Mhm.
and they are going to slash at you with that. He is going to connect with you in the shoulder, one of the knights. As it does, it kind of clips your shoulder and cuts into your shoulder a little bit, doing 10 points of slashing damage. The other one is going to take a crossbow and point it over towards where Enwyn is, fire the crossbow, and it is going to go wide. It's going to slam into a tree. The second one is going to bring his greatsword, but just as he looks like he's going to hit, he sort of like, for some reason, like slips a little bit. His footing gets off, and he shakes his head and grabs it in pain. The sword slams into the ground over to where you are, and you instinctively take a look backwards. She's maintaining eye contact with you this whole time, sort of looking forward.
Yeah.
The third one hits, and it looks like he connects hard.
Okay.
As he connects, actually, I need to roll this. Grim, he takes the sword and he brings the sword up and puts both hands on it and slams it down, and it cuts into your clavicle a little bit. Like it's a death shot. As he brings it down, and he brings it down hard on top of you. You take 35 points of slashing damage
We're good.
as this sword slices into your chest, and you feel the air being knocked out of your lungs a little bit. He also takes a shot at Enwyn off in the woods. 17 to hit Enwyn.
Mhm.
Okay, that is going to be 7 points of piercing damage as a crossbow bolt slams into your shoulder. She will stand up, and with her move, she will say the word kneel
No, it's Grim.
as you are bleeding on the ground in front of her.
It ain't gonna happen.
Okay, that is your turn. Mandrake,
Hidden, right?
you are hidden.
Okay, so I get advantage.
You do have advantage on this first attack, and then we'll
Okay.
see where you are.
I'm going to strike at the one who just did so much damage on Grim.
Okay, the knight off to the side. As you sort of step out of the shadows, fling your hat outward, roll with advantage as you go to strike against this knight.
Sorry. Actions. 24.
24 hits. Hang on. 24 hits. They
Okay.
can't see it coming, so yeah, that hits. Roll damage for me.
Rolling. 5.
It's going to
7.
be a lot of damage. And when you are up next, followed
8.
by Day. Question?
You said a spell and a cantrip, but it has to be a bonus action
One of
cantrip,
them-
or
one of them
One of
has to
them?
be-
And can be like a bonus action, and then the other one cantrip. So spell, cantrip.
cool.
17 points of damage.
17.
And then with my bonus action being that Expeditious Retreat is still active. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to attempt to dash and hide, or like hide.
I think with Expeditious Retreat, you get to
I can dash as a bonus action.
you can dash as a bonus action, but hiding is also a bonus action, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah,
it is.
so you pick one of those, like where you can try to morph back into the tree line and just sort of hide out there.
Oh, I
or
didn't roll my hat again. Sorry.
roll your hat again. One of them makes a save, the other one does not at the end of his turn.
My hat came back to me.
Got it.
I will attempt to hide.
Okay, give me another stealth check as you have their attention.
16.
She takes a big sniff of the air, and you think you might be hidden. You're not quite sure.
Great.
Okay, that is your move. Enwin.
How is Grim looking?
Grim is hemorrhaging blood from the center of his chest, but he's made of sturdy stuff.
Other than that, he's great.
Dude, can I say what about that for HP?
You cannot.
Never mind. Not on my turn.
But how about this? We've never run into this before, and I'm not a huge fan of in D&D everything. How do you feel on a scale of 1 to 100? Like,
One to
I feel
100.
like, so tell you what, give me an insight check. I'll set the DC at 15 here. Nope,
That's 8.
he looks a little rough.
Great. I love it. It's nice.
Just a little Kool-Aid coming down.
From here on in, let's do this. I've never dealt with this. I'm coming up with this on the slide. If you make a DC that I say, I'll let you attune like how many hit points they have. Almost like you're kind of getting a range here. But he didn't hit the mark, so
Perfect.
you just look over at him and Grim's snarling, but he's bleeding.
Okay. I'm going to move so that he is within a round of movement from me.
Okay.
And
You're
then-
moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to Eldritch Blast one each of the guards. So,
Okay, so the guards are in melee with him. How close are you getting? He's about 30 feet from you. You moving like 15 feet a little closer? Are you
if
moving?
he's within 30 feet of me, I'm not moving. I want to get him within 30 feet.
He's within 30 feet
I have
of you.
120 feet on Eldritch Blast.
Oh, you backed up. So you backed up and now you're moving forward. He's within 30 feet of you.
Okay,
Using 10 feet of movement. You're gonna Eldritch Blast the two of them.
Yep.
Okay, two of the guards or her?
Two of the guards.
Got it.
Jesus, why don't I know my character better? That is 17.
A 17 looks like it's going to hit, and one of the guards sees the blast coming. He will usher out a command, and the guard that has the blast coming towards it will bring up the shield, and the Eldritch Blast will slam against the shield.
Alright, then a 14 doesn't hit either.
14 does not hit.
Cool. That's okay.
They stand at the ready. Day.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do another healing word. This time I'm going to do it at. You know what? Let's just fire it up. We're gonna do it at third level again. So we're gonna do 1.
What's the range on healing word?
60 feet.
Got it? Yeah, you can totally hit him. Who are you hitting? You hitting M1 again?
Grim.
You're hitting Grim.
8, 9, and then 10. So you're gonna take that. Take 10.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna go in with Toll the Dead
Okay.
on
You're
the.
walking forward and you're casting Toll the
Toll the
Dead.
Dead is also 60 feet.
Got it.
So I want to do Toll the Dead onto the girl who pointed the fingers.
Got it.
And she has to make a wisdom of 13.
Wisdom of 13. She does not make her save.
That's going to be 9 points of damage.
Got it.
She didn't have any damage before, right?
She did have damage before.
Oh, so
Thanks to Enwin.
so actually that would be a D12 worth of damage
So
instead.
re-roll that dice.
So that's 10.
Mm.
It's
Why does it
12
sound like you're rolling 2 dice over there?
because it tells me to roll 2d8, but since she has damage already,
What
it's
level
12.
cleric are you?
3.
Isn't that a cantrip?
Yes.
Gotcha. So that's okay. Yeah. I'm into it. How much damage?
12.
12 points of damage.
Yeah, it
Got
says if
it.
it says 2d8, and then if they have damage already, roll the 12.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it. I will take a look at that. I may be misunderstanding how that one works. That is good. That takes us to the top of the initiative order again. So we are going to cycle back around to the other battle. You all, Thoe, Nyx, Flint, and someone else is standing there at the ready, and he's sort of unleashing fire into this wooded area. You hear some soft screams coming forth from this small goblin-esque figure that is standing next to where the caterpillar is and is unleashing
So the goblin is attacking the caterpillar.
The goblin is
Okay.
attacking the
And
caterpillar.
the goblin does not look familiar.
The goblin does not look familiar.
Okay. I am going to, and there's nothing else but the goblin attacking the caterpillar, or there are also the army.
Give me a perception
People?
check.
That is a 17.
The goblin is alone in this particular clearing. You don't see any other druids, you don't see any other soldiers but this little goblin. The ground beneath your feet is vibrating.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run at, oh gosh, I don't want to waste that. Yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action to activate my flame tongue scimitar,
Sure.
and I'm going to run at that goblin,
Okay.
and hit him really, really hard.
I need you, before you do that, to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
That is a 16 plus 7. That's
Yep.
a 23.
Yeah, you feel like there's something that's trying to prevent you from going forward and attacking this, but you manage to push through it and you make an attack roll against it. Go ahead and roll. What was your attack roll?
My attack's a 13.
13. 13 just
misses.
barely doesn't get past, and as you watch, he sort of shifts over to the side, feeling your presence there, and as it does, the sword glances off the flaming scimitar and he turns around to look at you. As he does, he will click the side of his head and small goggles will appear on the front of his face and he'll study you for a little bit.
Okay.
That is what he is doing. Nyx, what are you doing with your turn?
Okay. So Thoasar is 5 yards away, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
She
Would there-
runs forward and just basically tries to kill this
Yes.
thing or smash it with the flaming scimitar.
If I were to run around the side,
Okay.
could I throw a bead of force so that it would only have the impact radius hit the goblin? Because it's a 10-foot radius.
I would say, she's within melee of
I
this thing.
know, I'm so upset.
I will say you could make a ranged attack roll, but there
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
is a shot you will get her.
Yeah, I know. I can't do that then. Shoot, I'm just gonna magic missile at
She's not gonna care.
2nd level. No, but I could trap you for a minute and not him, and that would
Oh.
suck.
It
Yeah,
would
that
suck
would-
if
okay.
it was Nyx and
Yeah.
Flint against this thing
So
while you're stuck in a
I'm
bubble.
gonna magic missile at 2nd level and move to the side so I at least have some room. And if she's going melee, I'm not gonna tell you to avoid it. So that's gonna be 11 points of force damage.
11 points of force damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Towards this goblin
Yes.
figure. Yeah, you send out this force damage towards him, and he outstretches a hand, and that force damage is absorbed into the hand as he brings the hand down and touches a small brooch on his person. That force damage is converted into the brooch, and he does not seem affected by it.
Great. Love that.
You doing anything with your bonus action?
Crying, but other than that,
It's okay.
Just-
that's totally
moving-
fair.
I thought crying was a
just
free
trying
action.
to get to. I am moving, so I'm just kind of in a place where I have a good look at him. But other than that, I don't really have anything I can attack with.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Got it. Okay. You are good. You do that. I think Nyx at this point sort of moves over to the side. Flint is walking forward and he sees you attack this thing and it looks a little odd, and he looks at Thoe sort of attacking this thing, and he gets a little weirded out. So he starts casting a spell as he casts haste at Thoisar. So Thoisar, you have the spell haste cast upon you. You are going to get an extra attack on your turns, and your AC is going to go up by 2. There's also some other effects there as well, if you look that up. With his turn, he will start to walk in the air. He will take an attack of opportunity against you, Thoe, as his boots click together and small wings appear out of the sides of the boots, and he begins to sort of make his way up into the air above the caterpillar. So you can take an attack with your flaming scimitar. Your an attack of opportunity if you so
Okay,
choose.
yes, absolutely.
All right, give me an attack roll.
That is a 19, better.
19. Yeah, 19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 14 points. Flame
Fire
damage.
damage? Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. He is taken aback by this, and he looks a little like
How high in the air is he?
he currently is. He spends his movement moving 30 feet in the air. Do you have Sentinel?
No.
Okay. He moves 30 feet in the air, and he will take a small vial of green liquid out of his hands, and he will whisper into it. He says, "Daddy's busy," and he will throw it down on the ground, and this green liquid will go whoosh. I will give you a dex save if you would like to catch this green liquid, if you so choose.
That is the 13.
You go to reach forward to this little vial of green liquid. As the green liquid just slips past your fingers and lands on the ground, you hear a rumbling coming up from beneath you in the ground. There is a clawing sound as a monstrosity crawls its way out of the ground. This thing looks huge, looks almost insectoid in appearance, as this thing crawls out of the ground and begins to
I had advantage on dex saves because of haste.
then roll again.
Sorry. No, never mind.
Okay?
It would have been cool though.
It would have been amazing. So this thing crawls out of the ground, and it is beginning to look about the space. It interposes itself right where the vial fell, so I think right where you are, Nyx, Flint, Thoe. This guy's floating in the air, 30 feet in the air. We cycle back around. Let me roll initiative. Got it. Okay. This guy's floating in the air above. The goblin is floating in the air above. This little creature is sort of looking about the space. It's very close to you. Thoe, go ahead and move. I need you, before you do that, to give me a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh, I'm so good at this. 8.
8. Okay. You are close to where the caterpillar is, and this thing is very close to you. You have the idea of running forward and just smashing into this thing with your flaming scimitar.
Smashing into the caterpillar?
Not the caterpillar, this hulking monstrosity in front of you.
Okay.
You get this idea of like, you know what? I think I'm gonna hit this thing as hard as I can.
Okay.
Yeah. So give me attack rolls against the
I'm gonna hit it.
hulking monstrosity.
And I get 2 attacks on it now, right?
Yep.
First attack fails, it's a 3 plus like 5.
Okay.
8. No.
Okay.
Second attack. God. 13.
13. And you're wailing into this thing, and it's seeming like the carapace around it is absorbing some of these blows. Nyx, your turn. Give me a charisma saving throw, please.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. 20 not nat.
20 not nat. Yeah, you feel this odd gaze as you're within range of this hulking monstrosity, and as it sort of turns around and sort of chitters in your direction, but you manage to push that feeling aside.
Okay. I'm gonna banish the creature.
You're gonna banish the creature.
Yes.
Okay. Give me. I need to give you a charisma saving throw, I believe.
17.
It fails its save, and it is immediately
Boom.
banished out of existence.
Get rid of that.
You feel a little bit of the confusion surrounding you and Flint gone momentarily.
Yeah.
All right, and as movement, I'm going to start moving away from the goblin and everything, just to kind of get
How
some
far back?
distance. I think as far as I can move, so probably 30 feet.
30 feet back. You just start
Assuming.
backing up, like something's going on here. I don't like this.
Yeah.
I'm moving backwards. His eyes dart towards you. Flint. What are you doing, buddy? Flint will see you backing up and sort of understand what is happening here, and he will. He is going to make an attack against this floating goblin because he doesn't really like him. As he throws out a poison spray. Or it sort of gets right underneath it. No, it's not the range. He needs something a little bit heavier. He's gonna shoot some magic missiles.
Hey.
Activating these magic missiles that seem to swarm out of nowhere, and okay, these magic missiles sort of slam into him, but it doesn't look as if they're doing the amount of damage that they normally do. And Flint nods at this. This creature is going to look over to where you are, Nyx.
What
and,
creature?
The goblin.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
And he is going to manifest an odd green arrow into the air in front of him. And he is going to fire that arrow, projecting it outward towards
okay,
you.
I'm going to counterspell that at 3rd level.
Okay. The arrow melts into existence. And that is the end of those 2 rounds of combat. We go back to the original, to the first battle from before, to the top of the initiative order, Grim.
Sweet. I'm taking my Vorpal sword.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna start attacking some stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so for the first
Okay, you can say attacking at stuff, but I would
Okay.
love for you to specify.
Okay, then the person that's got their sword at my side.
the person who gave you
Yeah,
almost like
that-
the death
Right.
hit.
So that's gonna be a 21.
A 21 to hit. His buddy warns him of the incoming attack, and it still hits.
Okay, so that's gonna be 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage.
Okay.
Yep.
Then the second one is going to be a 13.
A 13 to hit.
Yeah.
13 to hit just does not hit.
Okay.
As you swing the sword back around for a second time, and as you, it just sort of clangs against the armor that this guard is wearing.
Okay. Then I want to cast Action Surge.
Okay. Action surge.
Sweet.
2 more attacks.
Which is an 18 to hit.
18 to hit. He's going to warn his buddy. It's the other one. Yep. It does not hit. As
Okay.
he, another one of the guards sort of reaches out and.
And then for the last one, you said if it's a 18, 19, or 20 to tell you if I'm using the Vorpal sword, and that's an 18 on the dice.
An 18 on the dice. Give me percentile dice, please.
Yeah, use yours if you have it out. Yeah.
Yep, go
How
for
do I
it.
use this? Because I've never actually used it.
Percentile? Roll
Yeah.
both of them. That's never mind.
I've never actually had to. So 83?
Yeah.
83.
Thank you. And then, let's see.
Wait.
Okay, I'm waiting.
You are good.
Stand by.
Hold for show.
Okay. You swing it around, and as you swing around the sword and bring it forward to hit, you feel the magic found in the Jabberwock sword releasing. And it's been a while since you called forth the Jabberwock. And as you go and you expect to see the Jabberwock in front of you, the Jabberwock does not appear. It seems as if someone gave the blood of the Jabberwock to someone else, causing it to be held in a different state. However, who does appear is Dimitri.
Oh my
Who
God.
appears in the space in front of you and says, all right, what do you need?
Help, and now!
Okay, help and now, done and done. He will come over to where you are, use an action, and he is going to shove a greater healing potion down your throat.
Yes!
And let's see.
Best choice ever.
Greater healing potion. I believe that is.
Thank you, Billy, for telling me about this like a long time
3, I
ago.
think.
It's 4 plus 1.
Oh, okay, sorry. I don't have any greater ones. I gave you all.
8, 9, you heal for 16 points, and Dimitri goes, "Hey, great job! Come and visit the shop, all right?" And disappears.
Thanks, Dimitri. Am I rolling for damage on the?
Yes,
for
you
the
are
hit?
also rolling for
Okay,
damage
so
as
that
well.
is going to be a 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. Yep.
Nice.
He's looking rough, but he is
Motherfucker.
still up. That is their turn. Okay, the knights are going to. What am I gonna do? You're the only one that's sort of like wailing into them.
We are the world.
One of them needs to roll a d6 because he's still affected by the spell.
Just
He's gonna take a negative
fucking
2 to
destroy
attack
all these
rolls.
moves.
Saving throws.
So sorry for swearing.
And the other 3 are just going to keep stabbing into you.
Fair. Bring it
Okay,
on.
that is a 23 to hit.
Hits.
23 to hit.
See.
First one does 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Second is also a 23.
Hits.
This one does 6 points of damage.
I can only do so much.
And the last one is a 19 to hit.
Mine AC is 19, so that
Okay,
hits.
So that still hits.
Yes, sir.
This one does
Okay, bring it
15 points of damage.
on. Oops, that's heal. Thanks, Dad.
He's down? He's
No,
unconscious?
I said thanks, Dad.
Okay.
He's good. He's
Okay.
He's dead. They sound really similar.
I did not take these attacks at advantage, even though the 3 of them are sort of swarming you at the
I got
moment.
you.
But you guys are watching as Grim is getting.
I'm taking him on. You're welcome.
He's getting beat a little bit. The woman is going to crouch down. Her nails on her hand are going to extend outward. She is going to run past Grim. Grim, if you would like to take an attack of opportunity, even though you are sort of being
Did she already
beat down.
attack?
She has not.
God, I can't use Sentinel then. Then I want to.
You can definitely use Sentinel.
Any reaction or any
If
opportunity
you
attack
hit her
plus
and this
Sentinel.
attack lands, she will be stuck.
I thought it was
standing right
only.
there next
Okay,
to
you know, I'm not going to debate it. Yes, Sentinel.
Yeah. Okay. Give me an attack.
Is it an unarmed strike?
Nope. It is just you with your weapon attack. So with your sword.
Okay, that's 22.
22. She sees Aubrey Faith, or she sees Day sort of off in the distance, and as she goes forward to do it, you with a last little bit of like oomph, slice at her hammies, and she hits the ground a little bit and turns around to look at you. And so instead, she will make these attacks against you, buddy.
Sweet. Can I pull? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Speaking of. Oh, we're
It's
good. We're good.
okay, I just have.
I was gonna do like a Weasley quote.
Oh, that's all right.
Not day, bitch.
18 to hit.
No, it doesn't.
18 doesn't hit. And a 20 to hit.
Hits.
20 to hit.
Yes,
hits.
sir.
Give me a con saving throw, please, buddy.
That is going to be a 18.
Okay, so here's the good news. You
Okay.
only take about 6 points of damage as these talons slice into you a little bit. But then you start to feel a little weird.
Okay.
It's just a weird feeling. You don't know what it is. That is their turn. Mandrake Madigan.
Are these an advantage?
No. You are very well.
I am.
You
no,
think you are.
I am not
hidden.
hidden.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast.
The crown.
No, the crown's a clown.
So not the one that's looking like he's about to fall,
Okay.
but one of the others.
Okay. Got it.
I'm gonna cast Crown of Madness on him.
He makes a saving throw.
Damn it!
Hang on. Against your thing, so he's not confused anymore.
Okay.
What is the save for Crown of Madness?
Save for Crown of Madness is Wisdom 15.
Guys are not the wisest, but he made his
Damn
save. You feel him push away some of the magic that you had stored up in that spell as he's able to shake it off.
Mandrake Hide.
Mandrake Hide. Give me another spell check.
That, like. Okay, no, it's good. 22.
22. Mandrake's about to make back into the trees again. Enwin. You were within 30 feet of Grim, who is getting worked over.
I tried.
Just
now,
let it
because
happen.
there are
Just
3
let it happen.
individuals, you are surrounded on all sides. You are surrounded on all sides.
Okay.
These attacks will now definitely have advantage
Okay.
against you.
Bam, 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 bam. Okay.
It is Enwin and then Day.
Okay. That's right, because I stopped right next to it.
Can I get within touch range of Grim without provoking an opportunity attack?
Absolutely not.
Even though they're all within melee of him? Question mark?
They are within melee.
I'm just trying to understand where everybody's at.
Sure. They are within melee of him. They're surrounding him on all sides and kind of getting a beat down. It would be the equivalent of, I think, if you, like, excuse me, I just want to get a hand in here, like a little, like, just a little a poke. Like, there's two of them are still facing you. I don't know how this works. Tell you what, pal. I'll let you sneak forward, and I'll let you give me a sleight of hand check, and see if you can sneak a hand in to this group that's sort of concentrating on him. But if you mess this up, you are in melee with at least two of them.
Okay.
Because I like where your head's at.
Let's do it.
All right. This is the sleight of hand check.
Adjusted 20.
Adjusted 20. I will say that you will just start creeping forward, and you just snake a little hand over towards where Grim is and touch a bloodied foot. And as they all turn around and look, you'll be able to
Rude.
cast a spell.
Bloody
As
rabbits.
they look at me and I have his foot, I go, oh! Boy! And I cast Thunderstep. It is a Constitution saving throw of 17.
Okay. Okay. Two make it. Two do not.
Alright,
The
it's
two of the guards make it. The girl and the super bloodied guy makes it save.
It's 34 or 17 if they made it.
17 if they make it. That dude, so what happens is Enwin steps forward and grabs onto Grim's foot, and there is a, as this like deep sort of impact, and then boom, outward explosion. One of the knights is thrown against a tree and impaled on a branch, and just sort of like stands there. The other two are blown backwards a little bit. What is the total damage if they didn't make their save?
34.
34. Another one of the guards hits the ground and just sort of face plants, and the other knight is standing stalwart. The woman turns around and she sees you guys disappear where? Are we heading towards this clearing, or are we headed back to the forest?
I'm gonna put. This is really dumb. I'm gonna put myself between Grim and that woman. And we're
Okay.
going to move half the distance between where we are and Day.
Okay, so you basically are going back into the forest a little bit and making it so that you are in between her and Day. I have to ask this.
See.
Enwin grabs your foot, and you basically get this feeling from Enwin of like, hey, I want to take you outside of the battle. Does Grim go?
Does Harvey go?
God, why would you put me in that position?
I have to play
No,
this.
it's
I
true.
have to play this to the truth. Like Grim wants to take you outside of this, like this fight that you're in with the four individuals.
Dude, you know I would be. You know I'd be there. You know I'd be fighting.
Okay.
I think at the very most, Harvey would probably be like, "Yo, dude, like we need to get the hell out of here. Like, you know, you're not looking so good."
Harvey would, but that's not my question.
Grim's out.
Grim goes with.
He's had Harvey for a long enough period of time now
Okay.
to trust him. So
There's a moment where you feel the spell kicking in, and it looks like it's just you thunder stepping away, and he's going to take this damage as well. But the willingness, he's sort of like, and lets go a little bit, and travels with you, and you're halfway to where Day is. Day, it is your turn.
Okay, so she is going to go ahead and cast Crown of Madness. She wants to do it on the woman.
Okay.
So that's a wisdom of 15.
She makes her save.
Damn it. Okay. And then in which case, just as a quick little bonus action, It's not much, but it's going to be second level. So we're going to go ahead and do a healing word on our tank.
Okay.
3, 4, 5. Take 6.
What level was this healing word at again?
Second.
Second level. Okay, so you're regaining 6 hit points. Okay. Because there's more people on this side and there's more to keep track of, we're gonna do a round now and we're gonna skip back over to the other side. Okay. So we go back to the top of the order on the other side of the battlefield. Okay. That's Day's turn with her bonus action and action. Thoe.
Monstrosity's gone. Guy's flying. Correct.
Yes. For
Okay.
now.
Okay, for now. Right, I know. One
Yeah.
minute. But, okay. So what I'm going to do, so the only threat right now is this goblin thing that's flying 30 feet off the ground.
He's walking almost in the air. It's less the thing that you look at and you see somebody flying, like he's just sort of walking in the air.
All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wild shape,
Okay.
giant eagle. And I'm going to attack. Now an eagle has 2 attacks, one with beak and one with its talons.
Okay.
Since I have 2 full actions,
You're
do
wild
I get?
shaping into
Yeah,
a giant
bonus
eagle.
action, wild shape,
Okay, and you're flying up to where he is.
flying to where he is.
Okay.
Now, an action for an eagle is 2 attacks. Does that mean since I have haste and I have an extra action, do I get 2 more attacks, a beak and a talon?
I will say hasted, yes, absolutely. That's a clever way of using that spell. As you sort of fly up in the air and make your eagle attacks as you start fighting this creature that's walking in the air a bit.
Okay, so my first attack, which is a beak attack,
Okay,
is going to be a nat 1.
okay,
Talon attack is an 18 to hit.
okay. 18 hits.
That is 2. 6 points of slashing damage.
6 points of slashing damage.
Second attack with my beak is 13.
Okay.
Did that hit? I don't think it did.
A 13 does not hit.
Okay.
Just barely.
Second attack with my talons is a 15.
15 hits.
Okay. That is a 6 plus 3, 9 slashing damage.
9 for 15 total. Got it. He looks pissed. Nyx,
Mage armor.
mage armor.
Of course.
How far away am I right now?
Right now you are 60 feet back, and there is
60
Thoe,
feet.
who is locked in sort of melee combat as a
Yeah.
giant eagle flying around this thing and hacking and slashing and things of that sort.
And then Flint is how far away from me?
Flint is 30 feet.
30 feet. Alright. I'm gonna take another 15 feet back
Okay?
and hold about 75 feet away.
Okay,
Just
got
to
it.
kind of survey the
You are
map.
75 feet back. Got it. You doing anything else?
Do I have time to like see if there's anyone around me? Like I'm not
Give me
getting
a
stuck up
perception
on.
check.
Perception. What I'm great at. That's a 10. Yeah.
You don't see anybody.
Great. Love that.
I will say with Flint's turn, Flint will do the same thing. He will see you sort of not in and take it. Flint gets a better perception roll than you, and subtly he will go like this.
Love that.
As you cock your head to the side, you see a gnome sitting on a small rock, just sort of overlooking everything. He's got a piece of bread out, and he's tearing off pieces of bread and popping them in his mouth.
Do I recognize this person?
Yeah, you do. Give me a d20 and just add your int.
Add straight in.
Straight in.
Alright. 13?
Yeah, he looks similar to the guy that Mandrake introduced you to.
Mandrake introduced me to...
Mandrake introduced you to this older, like gnome character in Tanaf, and
Okay.
And he looks similar to that guy. And he's
Gotcha.
just sitting on a rock right now, like tearing off little pieces of bread and popping them in his mouth and eating them.
I'm not there, I can't help you, but I've said his name
Okay.
so many times, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about all you get for that.
The old
All
kind of
Please hold.
right, Tick. Tick is going to touch his crossbow, and he is going to, he's currently fighting Thoe right now, and Thoe's sort of wrapped up in it. No. Thoe, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Is he casting a spell?
He is casting a spell.
I'm within 5 feet of him. I have Mage Slayer, so I should have advantage on my saving throw.
Okay. Give me an advantage on a Constitution saving throw. You are using the con stats of the Giant Eagle, not your own.
But it's a save, so it's just a straight up con stat on a Giant Eagle, or do I get?
Look at the Giant Eagle's saves. I believe when you wild shape, you maintain your int and your wisdom, but you take on all of the other features.
Okay, so it's just the straight up con.
It's just a straight
And
up
it's a
con at advantage.
12.
Okay. You see as he reaches out his hands and they wash over you, and it is a spell that you've seen used a few times before, but I don't know if Thoe has ever used it herself, as this sickly green energy begins to overtake you. 30, 32,
Oh my.
Gosh.
it's 88, 36. As the blight spell moves across your body and you take 39 points of necrotic damage, burning through the hit points of the Giant Eagle.
Okay.
If it's depleted all those points, you take any that's left over.
Yeah.
I need you to give me an acrobatics check or a dexterity saving throw as you try to successfully sort of mitigate the fall damage you're about to take.
Okay, and once again, do I get advantage because it's Mage Slayer or not? Because
Not
I'm
on this one. This is
anymore-
just you falling
it's
out
just
of the
acrobatic
air.
straight up.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. That is a 15.
15. Yeah, I will say you're able to sort of mitigate the fall and sort of land on your feet below it as he sort of like looks down at you and darts his eyes over to where Nyx is and begins to take 30 feet of movement towards where Nyx is.
Okay.
That is that round of combat. This is a lot to juggle. Let's flip back over to the other group. We'll do around there and around here. So let's flip back over to the other group. Top of the initiative order, Grim. You are in the woods with Enwin, and Day is about 15 feet away from you.
And as far as enemies, like we're pretty safe distance away.
You have no idea. You're a little discombobulated at the moment. You look into the clearing and you see that blonde woman standing there.
Okay, then I'm gonna cast Second Wind,
Okay.
which is a 1d10 plus 9
Got
for healing for myself, which is 11 points of healing.
Perfect. Good move.
And then wonder what the hell just happened. Why we're not in battle anymore.
Cool. Got it. That's your move, Grim. She will say something to the knight, and the knight will take off running. He will use his action and to dash, and he will start making his way and make it about 60 feet away from where the group is and start heading to the left out into the clearing area. And she will stand out there in the open field, and she will begin to, looks like she's meditating. It looks like her eyes are closed and she's just sort of standing in this field.
And that doesn't prompt opportunity because he's so far.
There is no one within melee range of this
Okay.
woman. There was, and when bamped him out, you guys are all hiding in the woods at this moment. Cool. That is, actually no, she's gonna start walking into the woods towards you. I don't think she's gonna be able to get close. I think she's gonna stop about 10 feet away from this little collection of you two here and her a little ways, but Enwin is in front of you.
Okay.
Mandrake,
I'm hidden, yes?
you are hidden. Yes.
This man's running, yes?
He's 60 feet away through the trees.
Not a problem.
He's going to have a little bit of cover from your attack, unless you have sharpshooter, and you can ignore that cover.
I don't believe I do.
Okay, so he's just going to have a little bump to his AC.
Okay. Does 21 to hit?
21 is the AC. So yes,
So
that
hits.
hits.
Sorry.
Blow him out of the water.
Sorry, just,
I'm ready for all that.
it's 10, 11, 14, 15, 19 points of damage.
Hercules, Hercules, Hercules,
Uh,
Hercules.
As he's running, he hits the ground as the blades of the hat chop into his side, cutting him.
Okay.
All right.
And then
And
nothing happens.
And then it's my turn.
My hat stays on the ground next to him.
Sure. The woman is just staring at the group and when it is your turn.
I dash towards my hat because I have a bonus action that I have not used.
Cool. You start making your way towards that hat and in hopes to get it. So you're about 60 feet away from the group then? What's your movement speed?
My movement speed is 30, so
Yeah,
I
you
would
make it to the
dash
hat.
at 60.
Mandrake takes off away from the rest of the group.
Pick up my hat.
Henron is going to see that and go over his shoulder to Graham and go, don't fucking die. He's going to grab
Rude.
the armor.
Armor.
Yep. Then I take that 1 point of damage.
You
I'm gonna
do.
use my reaction. She's, you said 10 feet away?
She's 10 feet away from you. Her eyes are locked onto. Her eyes seem to be scanning Day, Grim, and you. And they stop on you.
Okay. As I take that 1 point of damage, I'm going to use my reaction for Misty Escape
Okay.
to poof behind her and go, you're done fucked up, dear. And as my bonus, I'm going to pop Cloak of Flies.
Cloak of Flies. Got it. Okay.
Oh,
What's
God.
the save on Cloak of Flies?
There is no save.
Okay. So what
So
is?
when she starts, she takes 5 points of poison damage every time she's within 5 feet of me.
Got it.
Oh my god, stay close, bro.
You can just keep walking every time.
Day.
Hi. So I am going to first use my bonus action to do a bardic inspiration towards my dear friend Enwin over here.
Okay.
She's just gonna scream, "Hello, you!" And then it's gonna be Dissonant Whispers, which is going to be a Wisdom of 15.
Okay. She fails her save.
Cool. 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 points. Take those,
Okay.
please.
There you go.
And I suppose that ends my turn. Yeah.
It's your turn. We go back to the top of the initiative order. On the other side, let's go to Zoe.
All right. Oh gosh, I'm in a bad place. Crap. Well, I guess it's time to conjure woodland beings. Sorry. I get to choose, correct? Or do you roll for them?
You get to choose.
Okay, so let's bring those pixies in.
All right. Bunch of
Um,
pixies, take the scene.
do you
Roll
need-
initiative order.
Okay.
Or they
there-
can take yours.
That's either way, whatever works for you. I rolled, it's a 9, and shoot, and I did not pull them up ahead of time, but I will.
That's all right.
But
Pixies
it's
are-
gonna be after me anyway, so I will
Pixies are
make
going
sure.
at the end of the initiative order.
Okay.
That's your action. You do anything with your bonus action.
No, I'm not, cause that doesn't work, never mind.
What level did you cast Dissonant Whispers on? Aubrey Faith.
It's going to be level 4.
Do me a favor when you're casting it and it's not the regular level.
State which level it
say
is.
what
Mhm.
level it is, so it's not like they failed to save. It's level 5. Like so, just for next time.
Yes,
Okay?
my apologies.
Okay, no worries.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no,
I'm
go
good.
ahead.
I was just gonna use bonus action to bump up my health a little bit.
Do it.
Healing word, 2d4, second level. No, I'm sorry, I can't do second level. Healing word, third level, 3d4.
Okay.
Cool.
What is this? What are you're doing this? Okay, so how we do spells here is we're doing the bonus
Oh,
action
shoot.
and then like
I'm sorry. I just
we're
cast
so
a
used
spell,
to
I can't do that.
random
Never mind.
encounters
No,
and stuff
no.
like that. So
I messed up, sorry.
just as a heads
I
up.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
I messed up.
No worries.
Sorry.
That's there. Nyx.
Alright, I'll use benign transportation to get 30 feet away
Even
as
more.
my action.
Yeah.
Because he's coming towards me.
He is coming towards you.
And I know as long as I don't get hit, that monster's not coming back. I'm gonna turn to what I assume is Bixleby and go Bixleby? And just leave it at that and move back for my movement another 30 feet. So I'm getting 60 feet away
Cool.
while also being like, why are you here?
Bixleby eats some bread and sort of nods in your general direction. Flint goes over and sits down on the rock next to Bixleby because they spent a lot of time together. And he, starts asking him, what are you doing here? But you've backed up about 60 feet at this point, so you're a little ways away from this conversation that's happening.
Yeah.
As he's continuing to fly forward. Tick. Tick does not like to see Bixleby.
Well, that sucks.
So he is going to he's going to cast on himself, and you will watch as Tix begins to turn into a little. He turns transparent first, and then begins to float away into the ether a little bit as he forms into a little moving gas cloud and begins to float away as a little gas cloud off to the sort of eastern edge of the forest.
Away from us.
Away from you and away from the pixies. However,
Is he moving towards the caterpillar?
he's moving
Okay.
away from the caterpillar.
Cool.
However, his movement speed is slow.
Cool.
And so the pixies and you see this little cloud where he once stood, and it's floating away into the air. But it is the pixie's turn.
All right, I want him gone. We're gonna, I know it's a standard, we're gonna try polymorph on him.
Okay.
I want him small and inert, so, let's nail him.
Okay.
What
is the save for
The
this?
save is a spell save DC of 12.
Wisdom or charisma?
It's a charisma
Okay.
of 12, one at a time.
Okay.
So he's gotta make 12 DC saves of 12.
All 6 of them are doing this, correct?
All 8.
All 8.
He transforms 5 times into a...
On the 7th one, the spell connects.
All right.
With a nat 1 on the die.
The eighth pixie. I want the 8th pixie to cast fly because I don't want him to hit the ground because he's still levitating, correct?
He
If he-
is a ball of gas, and you transform him into a
Snail.
And
Right,
you want
but
the
he's going
pixie
to
to
plummet.
cast
I
him.
want the 8th pixie to cast fly so that he does not hit the ground.
Got it.
Because if he hits the ground, he will come out of that wild shape, or
Okay.
out of that
The
shape.
snail begins to fly.
Yeah.
Got
And
it.
I'm gonna have the pixies try to fly that snail towards me.
You can on their turn.
Yeah, right. Okay, got it.
Okay, so now we have a flying snail.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
It's fine.
There we go. Back to the top of the order. On the other side of the battlefield, Grim.
So, just for fun, because I want to see what this does, more of actually, I want to take reach to my bag or reach to my pocket bag, whatever I have, and do a shot of the green stuff that I've had for forever and a day that I know.
Ooh, yeah.
does
Could be
some
a
fun
con
stuff.
save, please.
Okay, that is going to be a 16.
I gotta look this up.
It has been a long time since I've done it,
Yeah.
so gonna get on that.
16.
Please, God, let it be something good. Let me fly far, far away, God.
Okay, with a 16, I need you to give me percentile dice.
Oh, man, I'm gonna steal this real quick.
Go ahead.
This
It's gonna
works
be
here.
fine.
What does this mean? What the hell does that mean?
What is that? That would
8%?
be
Which person in
80.
the group do
Oh
you feel
yeah,
is closest
8%.
to?
The closest? Right now,
And this particular like outcropping of individuals, who do you feel the most?
probably Enwin, because he
Enwin.
banned me out of battle.
Yep, got it.
So is that 8%?
8.
8%.
8%.
Hey, girl.
You take a shot of the green stuff. You can go ahead and heal for 3d8.
3.
3d8?
Two
Okay.
more shots of the green stuff left.
I got 5 more.
You got 5 more
Yes,
shots.
sir. Okay, so that's gonna be 9. That's gonna be 12 points of healing,
Okay.
and then with my next, sorry.
Before you do that.
Yep.
And when you're laying on the ground, you're where Day is, or where Grim was. And Grim, you are standing behind this figure,
Oh shit.
right, like sort of whispering in her ear.
Hey baby, what's up? So I'm right behind her.
You're
I'm-
right behind her.
And does this cause for an opportunity?
Nope. You're just right behind her on your move.
Sentinel.
I know.
You can attack. I would say it's a bonus action to take a swig of a potion.
Okay.
I would let you do a bonus action to take a swig.
Okay, then yeah, we're gonna go for it. Go for the attack.
Got it.
I'm gonna use a Vorpal sword.
Vorpal sword. Attack away. Swing away, girl.
That is going to be 24.
Okay.
Oh god. Okay, and that is 8. 1 8 plus 6. That's gonna be 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. She looks very surprised as the person she thought was there is not there. You didn't start your turn here. I'm going to be a little bit. Does the thing of flies move
Fair.
with you? The cloak of flies? Okay. So that's not going to affect either one of you. That's your
Yay.
turn.
Thanks, Dad.
She's going to turn around and see it's you and make a beeline for Enwin. So you may take an attack of opportunity, and if you hit on this, she will be stuck where she is.
Okay, Sentinel, which is going to be just the die, right?
It's in its attack. Attack with your sword. So add whatever
Oh, I'm
attack
sorry.
bonus you have
That's
to your sword.
23 then.
A 23 hits. She makes a lunge for where Enwin is as she reaches towards where Enwin's side is, and when she's not able to get to there, you sort of tag her in the side. She turns around and looks at you, and she is going to hit you with her fist.
Sorry.
19.
Yeah, that hits.
19
Yeah.
on one of them. I also need you. Oh, wait.
Tell me.
I need you to give me a con save again, please.
Okay, that is going to be a 18.
18. You're starting to feel even weirder. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like this weird tingly sensation in your skin, but it seems like amplified by it. Like you don't know what it is.
Like I'm getting revved up, or
not revved up. Like it's almost like you're when you're feeling sick, you feel yourself getting sick.
Okay.
Like there's something weird there.
Harvey,
as she
Harvey.
hits you with that movement, and then she snarls. She screams with her free action. She's just screaming into the air to try to get attention.
she must be annoying.
Mandrake,
She's all that's left, yeah?
you are 60 feet away.
That's not a problem. She's all that's left, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And she is focused on him, yeah? Because she just took
You
attack.
have no way of knowing this until you use your movement and your bonus action to run for They
Well,
are
my
in
hat
the
has an
trees.
8-foot
You
range.
ran,
That's what I'm asking.
okay. Yes.
Okay.
I will say they are in the trees. There's
Yeah.
a difference between looking out into a clearing.
Okay.
They are in the trees right now. You give me a perception check at disadvantage as you are out in this wide open space. You're trying to look into the forest and find them.
I'm sorry, I have 8 shots of the green stuff left. I had 9 before.
I'm sorry.
Got
I
it.
rolled 2. I'm sorry.
It's at disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Okay.
So take the low.
20, not nat.
20, not nat. Yeah, you think you see them, and she's kind of locked in a struggle with Grim at the moment, but you think
Okay.
you see her.
Okay. So if I threw my hat,
She'd get the cover again,
she'd get covered.
because you're throwing your hat now through a bunch of trees
Right.
in order to try to get to her.
If I hit her, would I get sneak attack?
She is currently in melee with Grim. Yeah, she would get sneak attack. Why are you rolling 2?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a nat 1 and a nat 20.
What was the first one you rolled?
A nat 1.
The attack misses as you send that hat flying outward, and it gets very close to where she is, but it it stops short being.
Would the second one I rolled be what? Would that be my return?
I'd say the hat returns to you, but it does. You do not get the extra attack here.
Okay.
I like where your head's at.
Well, technically, a 20 is blinded opponent, so the hat return would just be gentle.
It would just be gentle. Yeah, you're good. That is your turn, Mandrake. And
Wait a second. Is it though? Because don't I still get a bonus action?
you too.
Yeah. So for my bonus action, I'll dash towards them.
Okay. You're dashing forward towards them.
You also have dashing, yeah.
So dashing. Enwin.
So I'm on the ground, or I'm just where he was?
You're on. He was laying on the laying on the ground. I took it because you
Got it.
grabbed his foot. You sort of just take half your movement to get up.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. And they are how far from us?
She said 10 feet is what
10
she said,
feet?
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast.
yeah.
Okay.
Please don't hit me.
You're on the wrong side of it. So.
Please hit me.
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Not even close.
These arcane energy flies out from Enwin's outstretched hands, and they don't quite find purchase. Would you like to use
I'm gonna move.
inspiration on either one of those?
No. I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Nope.
So they are way too low. I am going to move back into melee with her
Got it.
because I'm done.
Yeah. You are within melee with her.
Cool. Yes. Alrighty. So, I am also going to go ahead and move up a little bit here.
Okay.
As I'm walking past. Wait, so Grim is behind her now?
The two of them are now in close combat with her. I will say Grim is behind her, Enwin is in front of her.
Frick. Okay. I wanted to like try to get to him and actually no, never mind. We're just gonna walk up there and we're going in with the short sword that has the poison on it. If we
Okay.
can manage.
Yeah, you're coming up within melee range of her, and she's.
Is that being flanked?
Yes, I will say that is being flanked. We talked about the poison sword, about how you don't know how many charges are left on it.
Yeah, we did.
Got it.
I don't know how many are left on it.
You got it.
That is going to be a 24.
24 hits.
Okay.
God, girl, kid.
That's 7.
7 points of damage. Cool. That is your turn.
And we don't know how many charges are on it,
That's
so
true. You don't know how many charges are on that.
I take it there's no more charges on it then.
And a closer investigation check, or maybe having Nyx look at it, might be a good way to.
Okay.
But I would have him definitely take a look at it.
Okay.
You don't know if she's her body is wrapped in poisonous throes at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. That is your turn. We go back to the other battle.
We don't have any opponents to fight.
It's
Not
okay.
yet.
Oh.
There will be.
Okay.
Trust me.
Top is me, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to use my other wild shape, go back into the giant eagle form.
Mhm.
I am going to, because now flying speed of a snail, he's not very intelligent, but his flying speed is 60 feet.
Correct.
However,
It's not his turn yet.
right, I know, but
Yeah.
as an eagle, my flying speed is 80 feet, but since I have haste, my speed is doubled,
Sure.
so I can fly 160 feet.
Correct.
I want to go catch him very gently in my beak.
Give in your
Or my
beak.
talons. Well, I think my talons will be more dexterous. But yeah, I want to
Okay.
go catch him.
Give me a D20 and add your dex.
Okay, add the eagle's dex,
Mhm.
correct? Oh gosh, this is not great. Okay. What is the eagle's dex? Oh gosh, okay.
It's not, I've seen worse. I've had worse.
14.
Yep. You encircle
so
this
gently.
this snail.
And I want to fly high into the air.
You fly high into the air.
And I want to drop him from very, as high as I can possibly.
You got it. So you fly 180
So,
feet up,
180 feet up.
and then you just let go. Do you take a step back, or do you just like? Got it. You let go. And do you fly backwards, or do you
Well, I'm gonna clear the area, but he was already 30+ feet up.
Sure.
I'm 160 feet more.
Yeah. You let go,
190 feet.
So,
and he floats in the air.
oh, he's still flying. Oh, that's dumb.
It's okay.
I forgot that yeah.
It's okay. He's
Break his
Okay.
neck.
no.
So on my next turn, I'll go get him again.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay.
He's
Yeah.
just sort of flying.
I forgot
Would
to.
that
to
change what you
pull
would do?
the- Yeah, absolutely. I was.
What would you-
Yeah, but it's my fault. Like I messed up.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
That's me not thinking.
He's still floating in the air above you, but
yeah.
it's
Okay.
a confused
On my
snail.
next turn, I'll go grab it.
Yeah. Sort of floating up in the air. Next.
Well, there's nothing to fight. I'm gonna head.
We are currently 3 rounds into your banishment.
I know. I've got it written down.
Got it?
I'll walk back to Bixleby, action and movement to get back because there's nothing to fight and
I'm a day early.
fantastic. And
Where is everyone?
fighting,
That's weird.
not really.
Kind of weird. In the forest.
That's where the fight is.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Why? Do you know who that is? And I'll point to the sky where she flew off it. Not Thosai.
I had to guess it was Thoisar.
Not Thosai, the other one.
Snail? I
Yes,
always
but,
thought Tom would be a good name for a snail.
yes, but the goblin.
Oh, no. No clue.
Great.
I think this conversation probably takes up a good 6 seconds, and with Flint, Tax will move away as a snail. He doesn't have the best sense of intelligence in the world, but he will move away. Would you like to take an attack of opportunity?
I don't want to. Oh.
So
no,
you just
he'd
sort
still
of,
be flying.
you
so
still
no.
you just kind of watch him
like
as the
unless
snail
I can
begins
grab
to
him
like.
as an attack.
You're
but,
just floating
yeah.
in the air.
Yeah.
What do you tell the pixies to do?
I can't really control them all over. How far away is this other group, or can I not even see them?
160 feet straight down. Oh, this other group.
The other group. They're far enough away that I can't see them.
I don't know. You're pretty high up there. Give me perception checks. I think if it's a giant eagle, you get them at advantage.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot that I was giant eagle. Yeah, you're right. I rolled a 5 and a 2.
Yeah,
So yeah, no.
You're you're all eyes on the snail at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So okay, that is that round of combat. Let's go back to the top of the initiative where Grim.
I'm still grappling her, right? Or I have you sentinel to.
You are
hold
you
it?
sentinel. She did not move from this spot.
Sweet. Then I'm gonna use grappling pin, because I have to be using it against a person who I can be or has been grappled by me.
She is not grappled by you.
Dang. So can I grapple her?
Yep, make an attack roll.
Yeah, Dave, I'm gonna do it. Nat 20. You gonna get grappled, son?
She is about to get grappled, son.
Yeah, I did it.
Give me a strength roll here, buddy.
Just a straight 20. Okay, and my strength. 14.
She is grappled by you. Her movement speed is cut to 0. She is
And-
like currently grappled by
And
you.
speaking as a free action,
Speaking is a free action.
we are in this together. We are the same people. Stand down.
Okay,
And that's my turn.
cool. She can't move, but luckily all 3 of you are up against her, correct?
See.
What side is the seed in?
You're behind you, or behind me.
The seed is behind you in a backpack?
Yeah.
Okay. She is going to try to rip the backpack. So
Can
first,
she see me through the cloak of flies?
the cloak of flies are still going.
Yes.
Does it affect everybody that starts their turn here, or just people that you designate?
Anybody within 5.
So
feet.
both of these people need to make
No.
the.
No, because if she's here, Grim is here,
Yeah, you're right.
and
You're
Dave
absolutely
would be
right.
off- would be 1 away.
So looking at you, she just sees a cloak of flies in front of her. Okay. So she needs to take 5 poison
Mhm.
right off the jump. she's still gonna make this grab at disadvantage. Okay. She reaches forward through the cloak of flies, trying to find purchase on your back. She snags one of the straps of the bag, and as she yanks it forward, you jolt your shoulder to the side, and she is unable to get it. That's what she spends her action doing. For her, she does not do anything for her bonus action. She just stays in this spot. She doesn't even acknowledge the words that you said, Grim.
Okay.
Mandrake.
I have run up. She's surrounded on 4 sides now. Yeah.
3 sides.
3 sides. So
She is currently grappled by Grim. Grim's got both of his arms around her, and she's got her in a lock bar and preventing her from moving. He's got his arms wrapped around her. She just made a grab for Enwin.
okay. So I would get this at advantage.
She is
So it'd
locked
be a
up. You're gonna
sneak
throw
attack.
this hat at her.
Nope.
So
nope.
he's
Not my hat.
Okay.
My rapier.
Okay. Rapier.
Would that be? It would still be sneak attack. Yeah.
Still be sneak attack.
Got it. 4, 26
Yep.
to hit.
26. Definitely
Okay.
hits. Roll sneak attack damage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4. 5, 6, 7. 8. 9. 15. 17 points of damage.
17 points of damage. Okay. She's still up. Enwin.
Hold on. 'Cause I get one more.
Holding.
I would.
for show.
Crap. I could still use a cantrip. Yeah.
No.
No.
If you're casting 2 spells,
No, I didn't cast any spells.
I understand that. If your spell is a cantrip, if your spell is a bonus action, yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
The rule is if you're casting spells, and one is a bonus action and one is a cantrip, you can cast 2 spells.
Okay.
So
Then,
if you have a bonus action spell you'd like to
yeah,
cast,
I don't
absolutely.
have anything.
Do you have 2-weapon fighting?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I don't. No, wait, do I? I'm sorry. Do I? Where would I see that? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take. Do I have to use another weapon, or can I use the rapier again?
Not you like
Another
dagger.
Huh?
Yeah, dagger. I think you have a dagger.
I also have a short sword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Again, an advantage.
It's got to be a light weapon. Just make sure that short sword is light.
It's. Sorry. Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, absolutely. Give
So
me
at
an attack
advantage
roll.
again.
Add advantage again.
19 or 19.
19 hits.
Okay, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You do not get
Oh,
sneak
not sneak
attack
attack?
damage.
Oh, okay,
on
sorry.
This.
3 more.
3 more points of damage. She's looking rough. No, she's good. She's good.
Oh, good. After.
Enwin.
Realizing that she's trying to grab my bag and assuming that she's going for that, I'm going to disengage.
Cool.
I'm going to take my movement and move 30 feet away,
Understood.
back into the forest.
Got it. It's not a bad move. That's Enwin's move, Day.
She'd go ahead and cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level. And then it's gonna be a Wisdom of 15.
Wisdom save of 15. She makes her save.
Okay. Then I believe it's half damage. Takes 3d6. Uses its reaction of a on a failed save, it must take 3d6, and creature does not move into the obviously target. Yeah, so it was 10, so she'll take 5,
Okay.
but she doesn't have to move or anything. So.
Got it. Alright. She grabs her head in pain. Let's cycle back around to the top of the other battle. Zoe.
Okay, so I'm grabbing stupid snail again.
Grabbing stupid snail again.
Yes,
Got it.
that is a dex. 17 plus.
You got this now.
Okay. I am now flying an additional 160 feet up.
Into the air.
So I should be at about 350 feet up in the air now.
You are up there. It's a little cold, I imagine.
And I don't have anything to do until the pixies.
Sure. Yeah, you're good. And that is your turn. I think Nyx and Flint, you guys are out of combat for the
Yeah.
time being,
Yeah.
Bless you.
and you're just sort of hanging out and sitting around, and
Yeah.
Bixelby is eating bread, very content to sort of look and watch the surroundings.
I'm keeping an eye if I can on Thoasar if
So,
she's in.
she's
If did she go
3
straight up where we can see her, or is it trees and we can't?
I'm trying to gauge how hard it would be to see an object that's 300 feet directly above your head. That's a giant eagle.
Depends on
I-
if the sun's straight up or.
Yeah, I would say you're able to spot where, though he hasn't really gone any other direction other than straight vertical up into the air.
Great.
One more round of that spell is done.
Yeah. We're halfway.
Halfway. Cool.
That's fine.
Pixie's turn. We'll take a second as we figure out what the pixies want to do with this turn. Sure.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
The
It's all right.
pixies, I'm having the pixie who casts fly, remove fly.
Okay, I will say that you are able to communicate them to a great distance. In the future, we'll probably have to figure out like
okay.
a range
Like
that's
if they've stayed with
not
me or
350 feet. Like
Got it, okay.
Because even if they were flying at speed, it's not going
Okay,
to be the top
then
speed of
they
the
don't
jet.
have to be able
no,
to
no,
outfly, that's
She
okay.
drops it.
Okay,
She drops it. So now he's clutched in your claws.
correct.
Okay.
So I can't do anything else unless I want to have the pixie do something else, which I don't.
Okay. And his eyes open wide and he's sort of staring down at the ground
Yes.
in shock and fear.
Good.
Okay. Back to the top of the initiative order. Grim.
So you said like I'm starting to feel real weird.
It's starting to feel real weird. Every time she hits you,
Okay, I'm
like
gonna.
there's something odd on your skin. Like there's something weird. I don't know how else to describe it.
Is talking. I mean, talking to Harvey's alright. I can as a
You
free.
can still talk to Harvey.
So I'm gonna like, yo, what's
the last
what's
thing you
happening
said
with
to
this?
her was yield, and
She did.
she made a reach for Enwin.
Okay. Then I'm gonna ask Harvey like, what's going on if he has an idea of something I don't about what's happening with me and why I'm feeling so strange.
I mean, I don't quite know. This is a little out of my field of expertise. I mean, self-diagnostic, maybe a cup of tea, a long hot bath, just maybe some time away.
But are we on the up and up, or do we still need to keep going?
Violence never really solved anything until it did. So this is more your territory. I would. She's sort of covered on all sides by Day and by Mandrake.
But we need her with us.
Oh, that's up to you.
Then, with that said, I'm going to do an unarmed strike against her and just try to increase my grip on her and just see if I can get her to
You can
go night night.
You can, if you let go of this grapple.
No, I'm gonna try to grab her, or make her pass out or something, so I can at least kind of render
You're
her
gonna try to put her in
inoperable.
a sleeper hold.
Right, so that way we can be like, hey, we're gonna take you hostage with us.
Give me contested strength checks
Okay.
as you try
Just
to go
unarmed
night-night.
strike.
This is
Straight
night-night
D20.
time. Yeah, straight
Okay.
D20. Add your strength.
Add my strength. That is gonna be a 24.
You armbar her and try to make her go night-night, and as you try to cut off the oxygen to her arm, and you feel her.
Because I get two strikes, and I get advantage. if I need
Her
to.
eyes roll into the back of her head, and
Cool.
she slumps in your arms.
Then I'm gonna take my rope and just try to get her arms.
Nope, that's your turn.
Okay, done. Sure.
That's your turn.
Yep.
Grim is holding a person by the neck. Her eyes are rolled back into her head, and she's putting all of her weight into Grim's body. For her turn, she does absolutely nothing.
Cool.
Mandrake.
Cool.
We're still in initiative. As far as we know. Yeah.
Mandrake, what would you like to do?
Is her mouth open?
Nope.
No.
She's just like this.
I'm gonna reach into my bag, pull out an Eat Me cake, open her mouth, shove it in, close it.
Okay.
Those cakes can't be good anymore.
Doesn't matter. No.
It's been
Way
over a
past their
year.
expiration date.
And then do that thing you do with dogs where you like rub their throat to make them swallow.
Well, this makes sense.
Petting is
This
a
makes
free
sense. It's a
action.
free action.
Petting is a free action.
God came back to bite you in the end.
You
Why?
try to shove
To make her
this
swallow
food
it.
down her throat and
This is really weird. to say.
rub her neck and get her to swallow this
I just
food.
have to get some of the cake down her throat.
I don't know.
Into her stomach.
Sure. I think as you begin to rub her throat, she shrinks down and shrinks down and shrinks down, and he's got her in an armbar, and then she's just shrinking until she's about like yay high.
And then I reach down and grab her, and I've got her held in my hand.
Cool.
Okay. Awesome.
Grab it.
Done.
You have an unconscious person in your hand. Enwin. Mandrake is holding a tiny unconscious woman. Come on in. Okay, you're up next.
I cast something on her. What are the chances I'm gonna hit one?
Depends on what you cast.
Yeah.
I'm not holding
You
her.
can certainly try.
Because you grabbed her, and sometimes people do stupid things.
I made her so tiny.
I'm gonna use the inspiration.
Okay.
That's a 25 and a 17.
Roll damage.
11 altogether.
11 altogether. Yep. This blast, I gotta play this out. This
Damn it.
blast was not made for anybody living that size. I think this blast levels into her, and she's just a bloody puddle. Like it's a little like outward. I think after the spell drops, the pieces that are scattered everywhere begin to grow back to normal size.
Ooh, gross.
This combat is officially over.
That was pretty awesome, by the way. Let's just say that real
Are there
quick.
any swords or anything nearby?
You can look for loot and
right?
trust.
Awesome.
I don't
Okay,
know.
man.
Covered in viscera.
No one outside of this group saw that. We're
Dang,
gonna get
what would you like
bad
to do? You doing anything with your turn as this woman explodes? I'm sorry, dear.
Can
What would you
I-
like to do with your bonus action?
As a free action, can I, like, telepathically ask Charlotte how things are going over there?
Do you have a range on how?
I don't, because I'm packed to the chain, and I
You-
have,
yeah.
I have the invocation that lets me, as long as she's on the same plane.
You hear Charlotte go, "Oh, the conversation's going good. I felt Thoy here for a little bit, and then she took off.
Great.
I'm also sensing something coming."
Oh. Okay.
Cool. All right.
As a free action, she's gonna gag a little bit,
Yeah.
and then she would have seen the girl try to grab the seed.
Absolutely.
I can try to hide it if you want.
How do you mean?
I am able to make sure that things cannot be detected.
Can you do it on the back?
I can do my best. It's a target, not a creature.
Alright.
She will go ahead and try to cast non-detection on the bag/egg as a whole.
You can cast non-detection on the bag, or you can try to cast it on the seed.
I think it would be better to cast it on the seed.
Alright.
She'll do it on there. And that's just a one action touch for
This is
8
the-
hours.
Sure. This is the first time a spell has been cast directly onto the seed. This is the first time any magical thing has been done that has been directed at the seed as a whole. As this magic is cast at the seed itself, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
That's fair. Yeah.
Can I detect that it's going to do something?
You can absolutely detect that as you hold out the seed itself, and you cast, you feel arcane energy gathering, almost as if something's gonna. It's the same unique feeling of a seed pod about to drop from the tree, and like almost a gathering of energy.
As that happens, as soon as I sense it, I'm gonna cast Counterspell on her.
On
Wait, so that I don't cast?
Yeah. So that you're gonna end up burning the spell slot anyway, but
Okay.
you're not gonna have to get hurt.
that, this thing is.
Could you
this
just
thing is
say,
gonna-
hey, don't do that?
This thing is casting a spell. You feel it casting a spell. You can cast counterspell on her, or you can direct it towards. There's something about to go off.
Can I just tell her to stop and it won't?
You could try.
Let's do that.
She grabs the seed. She begins to cast the spell. The magic of the seed reaches outward, and as it does, you go, stop, not.
She'll take her hand away.
This. Give me a. Two of you give me dex saves. Let's see who's faster on the draw.
Ooh.
I got an 8 with my
This is
modifier.
one of those times where you wanted to lose. He manages to tell you to stop before you were able to cast the spell. You stop casting the spell, and the magic in the seed does not go off.
Well,
Not sure what that was, but it was not happening.
Let's go back to up top. You're holding on to.
I've done some research. An average eagle can fly 10,000 to 15,000 feet. I am currently at 360 feet in the air.
Give me a D20 with your intelligence modifier.
Oh. 18 plus. Shoot, I'm losing my. But it's my intelligence. 18 plus 2, 20, not now.
Your eyes are drawn to his feet.
To his feet. Like the snail's feet?
He's not a snail anymore because you asked it to take off the.
Fly.
You asked it to take off fly. Okay, he's still a fly.
Yeah.
He's still a snail.
Yeah.
You're going up into the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going another 160 feet.
Got it?
I am now at 510 feet in the air.
510 feet.
It will take, I calculated that it will take 5.63 seconds for an object to fall
Yeah.
510 feet, so it should be
Got
one
it.
round.
Okay.
So I am going to drop him. That should end up being 51 d6 bludgeoning
God.
damage.
Damn.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
Would
that
you, would you like me to roll 51 d6 in the
if
habitat?
you would like to,
please?
yes, go ahead and roll 51
I can
d6.
roll it. No,
in
no,
the
no. I can just roll it in.
yeah, but this
dice.
is so much more fun.
I know it is.
No.
We're not
I
gonna
just
roll
want to hear the
51.
clickety
All of
clacks.
us together
That's
do
6
not
and a
have
5.
enough.
Right.
I have 5 d6s.
Six.
We'll get there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Pretty sure
our
7,
audience
8,
has
9, 10.
173.
11.
That way everybody can see what it is.
Everyone in the audience will all roll 5, and then Adam.
We're at 11.
That's
12,
164
13.
points of falling damage.
Oh,
164
Bludgeoning.
points.
wow.
Huh.
And I rolled kind of crappy, actually.
You
Like,
did.
really crappy.
Is this thing still alive?
He is unconscious and hits the ground, and all the bones in his body break.
Ouch.
But now I need you to roll me a percentile dice to see where the winds took him.
Wow.
Because you were 500, how many?
510 feet.
And then you
Airstream.
just went
Yep.
into a forest.
Airstream.
Okay.
I don't think tree branches is going to help much in this situation.
Tree branches are gonna suck.
45.
45.
That's the angle
Eric, give
at
me a
which
d20.
It somehow hits Eric.
Not that one.
and like a bullet from the sky, the
5.
snail.
5. Chris, give me a d20.
8. 15.
Okay. Aubrey Faith, give me a d20.
Just a straight d20?
Straight d20.
7.
Okay.
If you kill me with a snail, I swear
Awesome.
to Jesus.
Yeah.
Give me a d20.
That's a
I'm
14.
gonna haunt you.
Okay. Last but not least.
18.
Okay. That's all I need.
Okay.
God, if you hit me with that snail.
Cool.
That's how
One of us
spears
might
are
get
on a
you are
scale of 1 to
killed by a
20.
falling snail.
Can I see, because I've been watching the ball the whole time, can I see where he's landing? I mean, I've got advantage on perception. I've got
Yeah.
eagle eye.
Roll high as you've dropped him 500 feet and you're trying to track it as it falls.
Cute. Love that. With your
I
beady
rolled
bird
a
eyes.
19 on the die, and it's, perception is still going to be the eagle perception, huh?
You have it narrowed down to a small patch of the forest that's a little ways on the
I'm
outskirts.
flying towards where he fell.
Okay. It takes you a good deal of time to not as much because you're a giant eagle, but you come over and he's laying on the ground. It looks like every bone in his body is broken and battered and crushed, and he's got blood pouring out of his ears, and he's laying on the ground.
And he is unconscious.
If you'd like to make a medicine check,
I'll make a medicine check to see if he's
as
unconscious
a
or
giant
conscious.
eagle,
Oh.
or yourself.
No. No, I'm going to grab him and fly back towards, I don't know where they are, right?
You don't
No.
know.
What
You
do I
can,
need to see this for?
you can head back to the caterpillar if you want
No,
to.
you know what? He's dead. He's dead.
Check.
No, I'll just talon him. That's it. He messed with the caterpillar. He's dead.
Cool.
Maybe 150 points, but we don't know this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be alive somehow.
So I'll just attack.
Oh, you're attacking him?
Yeah, he's dead now.
Okay.
2 attacks.
You guys, you made the death saving throws for him. So as you're flying over towards where the caterpillar was, he had stabilized himself, but with these two sort of things, like, how do you want to do this?
God, Tracy.
Talon through the heart.
Just talon through the heart.
Mess with my caterpillar. It's
Yeah.
done.
I'm glad no one's here to see that.
always
As
In
you,
fact,
I don't want to see
talon through the heart, I'm gonna pick him up and bring him back so I can drop him by the caterpillar.
as you talon him through the heart, his eyes go a bright red, and he cocks his head to the side and just watches you. It's like
Still alive?
the
His
no.
eyes.
His
Okay.
eyes go a bright red, and the head cocks to the side. As you feel your talon pierce through his heart, his head moves, shifts a tiny bit. His eyes go a dark crimson red color, and it just looks as if it's staring at you as you fly over with him in your talons back to the meeting point.
God damn.
Don't like that.
I don't trust them.
No.
I will say, for the sake of brevity and all that's happening, are you guys meeting back up with this group? Or are you just searching around the area? We're taking our time to dig through the bodies, like.
They would like to back.
Would any of us have
I'm
noticed a
just
giant
into, like-
eagle swooping at the ground?
There's a lot happening.
You
I'm
would,
just asking.
however, giant eagles in this particular space are not uncommon.
Oh, okay.
That one's kind of scary.
And I don't imagine like
Possibly
the
one's
That one's
piercing
gonna-
people's hearts and carrying them through the forest.
Yeah, but that was
No.
carrying a
No.
body.
That's also not unusual.
Not with a bunch of druids, and
Druids,
you were
yeah.
flown in by giant eagles, and you're seeing this battle rage on between
Got
the
it.
soldiers.
That tracks. Yep.
But did we?
I would turn to either Enwin or Day and say, call them, find out where they're at. And then I would start surveying the bodies to see if there's anything useful. Healing potions, anything.
With the shell
Are
phone.
you heading back? Or are you making this call?
So you're just surveying bodies.
I'm
Are
looking for
these-
healing potions or anything we might need.
You two heading back, or you? Because she would watch first. Because at this point, she's like, I need to know if you're going.
if it were someone that I knew and someone that was like part of the Were Touch, I probably would have just checked out the remaining viscera.
Everybody who's looking, give me investigation checks. I'm gonna give you 2 rounds. I'm gonna give you
Okay.
12 seconds before this thing pops back.
Okay.
19.
19. You start digging through blood and guts as you call the rest of the group, and you're like, hey, where are you guys?
What's going on?
Okay, I've got about 10 seconds until this monster comes back, so if you guys can help, I'm about to
You find,
13.
Okay.
you find a piece of paper.
Him?
Yeah.
Hi, friends.
You-
Nyx is in trouble. We must go. We must away now.
Do we know how far he is?
Nyx?
Yeah, roughly. Do we?
Yeah, because you guys were all in that spot and you run. So
Okay.
people start running back.
How far is he?
He is 2 rounds of movement. He's 120 feet.
If I sorry,
This is its home plane. I'm not gonna get lucky.
You don't know.
if
How
I,
fast is
Was
my-
there a popping sound when it vanished?
No.
No, so it's coming back.
How fast is my hat? If thrown.
What is the flying speed for your hat? Has that ever been listed?
I don't think it has been.
I will say 40 feet.
40 feet.
Yeah.
Does my expeditious retreat affect that?
No,
No.
it affects you. Take off. Who's taking off?
I'm trying to get to Nyx.
Nyx.
Appreciate
I can dash pretty far, like
You
3
looking at
times.
the paper or are you dashing?
God,
You can read the paper later.
yeah, I'm storing the paper in my pocket and out.
Paper is stored in the pocket. You are
I'm just gonna put the seed in the bag and run.
seed back in the bag and run.
I'm going to. Expeditious retreat is still in effect, yeah? No, it's over. I'm going to throw my hat and cast on the brim and start flying in that direction.
Got it. Thoe, you're flying back to camp with this thing sort of talon through the heart and the eyes bright red.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, you guys are headed back. Everybody sort of converges on this spot as Nyx is looking very worried towards a spot by the caterpillar. At this point, several druids are sort of congregating in this area as well. And Nyx is pointing to a spot and just sort of gesturing wildly. As Thoe, you come to the spot and sort of drop this body off to the side. Are you holding on to the body?
At this point, does this thing is still looking at me? This thing still looks like red-eyed.
Eyes are bright
somewhat
red and they're staring
conscious?
at you.
Yeah, I'm not dropping it because.
Okay, you're holding on
this
to it.
thing could, yeah.
I will say for this,
Eyes out.
there's this thing sort of appears in the space and it looks about just as like 4 or 5 druids, Mandrake, Madigan, Day, Nyx, Flint, Bixelby, and when everybody with an available action just unleashes onto this spot as this thing screams outward and you guys obliterate it as you're managing to find the spot that it's about to burst into.
How close am I to Thoisar?
You see a giant eagle that's not too far away.
I can
It
talk
should
to
be
the
like, yeah, 10 or
Do
15.
I see this thing's red eyes?
Yes.
I'm going to take both daggers, knives in the eyes.
Okay. 2 daggers. Right through the eyes.
That's kind of gruesome.
How close are is Thoe and Nyx from each other?
Everybody is out of combat.
This thing is a
not
puddle-
near Thoe.
A puddle of goo and
Thoe's
mess
over there
on the
with the
ground.
body.
You guys have obliterated this. You are officially, totally, completely out of combat.
Then I'm running up on Thoe and I'm just gonna jump on and give her a big ol' hug. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad to see you. Like,
Great. You get a big bear hug from Grim. Are you out of eagle shape again?
rabbit hug.
Rabbit
I
hug.
know that he banished that thing when it's coming back, right?
Everybody
We just killed it.
obliterated.
Oh, okay,
Everyone
got
was
it.
ready
Okay,
and
got
just
it.
like-
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I will wild shape out and
Oh yeah, she was.
probably shake my hands, which are probably covered in.
Not how I thought this fight was going to go, but yep, you just shake your hands and get rid of the viscera and gore that just sort of sloughs off of your hands.
It's gross, right?
Really gross.
Is everyone all right?
Quite fine. How are you guys?
Fine, but something's coming.
Big.
Something very big. Now let's find out what it is. I'm gonna turn to the druids and go, you can move now, or you can be moved.
The druids all start undoing themselves away from the caterpillar. Each one, the skin of them changing back to robes as they begin to disperse immediately, heading off into the woods, providing growth to trees that have been trampled in the attacks. They're gathering bodies of blindfolded men that are now back in their regular clothes and sort of heaping them onto a pile. They're healing people that are hurt. There are a couple of druids that did not make it through the skirmish, quite a few, and they are piling them over to where near the caterpillar is as the caterpillar begins to search about.
Did anyone heal Grim at all?
No.
No.
Do you want to meditate?
I'm
check
gonna
me?
hand him.
Mm.
I can heal.
Are you okay?
Heal me. Heal me with your love.
I would ask him. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Grim is covered in blood and viscera.
I will.
it's not
I will
his.
cast 3rd level cure wounds on him.
Okay.
That's 3d8.
Pretty good.
I need to move. There's me.
I think we do it like every
So
turn.
it's
Oh,
gonna
no,
be
it's badass.
15,
Keep alive.
18 points.
It's fine.
Healing.
So if I get 18 and I say only, for example, use
No, you don't get to stop.
dang,
those for a rainy
okay,
day.
darn.
Investigation checks. As you guys begin to search around this area.
I'm not searching the body.
Nice.
I'm not searching anything.
You're
apparently.
You're like, no.
14.
16.
13.
13. These are good. So
9.
you go over to where the girl was. So you kind of go back to that area. She's got a bag on her. It looks like a bag of holding that you're able to identify, and you find this bag of holding off to the side. You start digging through the body, and Mandrake, I think you would help her dig through the red eye thing. You guys are right there. You find a ring of free action. You find a brooch of shielding. Which you now know to be the thing that eliminated all of the force damage. You find pipes of haunting.
Pipes of haunting.
Pipes of haunting.
Okay.
And you also find some odd-looking winged boots.
What? Boots.
Boots and cats. Boots and cats. Boots and cats.
Dubstep.
These boots are called. What is these boots called? Winged boots.
I mean,
Ooh. How it's
Tricky.
while they're all looking at
They give you a walking speed flying speed equal to your walking speed. The wings pop out on your boots, and you're able to just sort of walk and flit through the air.
while they're all looking through this stuff, I'm just gonna find a place just to kind of sit and just regather myself and just read the note that I found from the pocket, or I'm just pulling the note out of the pocket that I got from the.
Yeah, Grim, you
Exploded
go over to
women.
the side, and it's confusing to you. You don't know what a lot of this means. It looks like it's in flowy speech that's written on court paper, and the first it's a to-do list. The first thing is wait for the distraction. Second is retrieve the seed. Third at the bottom, in bigger, bolder font, is bring the crown.
Is the letter or the piece of parchment written in any sort of language, or is it just like really?
It's written in common. Wait for the distraction.
Retrieve the seed.
Retrieve the seed. Bring the crown.
Okay. Then whenever the group gets back together, then I'm going to get Edwin and Thoe and Nyx and be like, I found this on the body. It looks like they were waiting for us to do this.
Do you tell us
And-
exactly what it says
yeah.
word for word?
Yeah, no, I'm presenting it to you. You
They
can
have
read
the
it.
crown. We need the crown.
You're not wrong. It's closer than you'd like to think.
uh,
real quick,
Wait.
we spoke to a dragon, and he wants the crown in order to help protect the forest.
I can cast locate object on the crown.
Sure.
Before we do that, so sorry, your scale, I'm not sure how it works, but could you cross-reference Red Eyes and the Queen? And look here. And I'll hand her my
It
journal.
would take a second.
It'll take a second.
Crown might be number
I'd
one
like to
in
make
this
the crown the
movement.
priority.
I suspect she was
We
watching
have a
everything we do.
physical list.
What is the range
this
of locate object?
The range of locate object is, I believe, 1,000 feet. I will double check. Yes, it is 1,000 feet.
It is not anywhere within 1,000 feet
A
of you.
body.
Right? An enemy body?
Where do you start walking?
That seems awfully suspicious.
The person that tried to take the seed from him, what direction were they going? Because that's the direction to go. Like wherever the people were that were trying to take the seed.
There's not much of the person that tried taking
They
the
were
seed.
headed in this direction for as much as we could tell.
She pointed at one of her guards, and he ran off.
Would I
What
remember
direction?
the direction he ran in?
We all saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you take him out then? Yeah.
Do we have any wait?
But we saw what direction
How
it's
long
going.
does haste go for?
You had a moment of lethargy as you landed,
Okay.
and you
So
got
it's gone.
you're going to send it, but the haste is gone.
Okay.
Do you start making your way over to that area?
I would like to run in that direction.
You're running towards the eastern side of the forest, and right as you're getting close to that area of where the guard is, not directly in front of you where the guard was, but over deeper into the forest, towards these dark vines, you get a blip.
Are they coming too? Like, are they?
Are they?
Before I left, are there still druids there?
They are currently healing and gathering bodies and protecting
Are
the
there
caterpillar.
enough to go back into Barkskin around him?
No, but Bixelby gets off of the stone that he was sitting on and goes over and takes a stool, a little tiny stool, like a little doll stool, and puts it down next to the caterpillar and taps it with his wand, and the stool grows big. And he sits down in front of the caterpillar and he goes, "Hello, old friend." And the caterpillar just sort of smiles. He's like, "I'll take it from here."
Mandrake will take off after them.
Yeah, I don't know if they're running after me, but I'm running
You get a
towards
blip.
that crown. I want that
Yep.
crown.
Is
I'm
that in
chasing
back in
down
the direction
crown.
of the dragon?
The
Are
blip,
those
the blip leads back towards the darkened vines. As you begin to move forward and forward, it leads you to a very familiar cave. You guys have not seen this cave, but it leads you towards this cave.
So we're all going.
The
with.
cave that we were in.
Yep.
It's better to go together.
Oh, the one with the dragon you mentioned.
Bye.
Perfect.
The find locate object is leading you inside the cave.
Okay.
And it's not the one with the dragon, but it's in the same general.
No,
No,
it's
it's the
the
dragon.
It's
It's
Okay.
the one with
So
the
it's saying
dragon.
that the crown is in the
Sorry.
dragon's cave.
Excellent.
Can I triangulate
We're
as
gonna
I
get
go?
dragon
Because
today.
I know where the dragon is
Why?
in this cave, approximately. I mean,
Sure.
obviously it moves around. So can I zigzag here and see if this is actually inside this cave?
Yeah.
And it's inside the
It's
cave
inside
where the
the cave.
dragon is. So I stop outside the cave
Why are we?
and let anyone know, and anyone else that's there.
This just seems like a leaky old cave.
Why do we need? Wait,
We're supposed to bring the crown to the dragon. The
But we
crown
don't-
is in the cave.
where's the
said It
dragon?
would help protect the forest if we got him this crown.
But if
The crown
there's-
is on her head.
Where's the dragon?
In the cave.
So the crown is in
Crown
the cave,
and
and
the
the dragon's in the cave.
And it's a sick
I've-
fucking joke he wants us to steal it from him.
I feel like the job's done then. If
Well,
he
the
already
queen
has
is
it.
ahead of us, and she's already in there recruiting the dragon to her side.
Right.
Well, this-
So,
But there's
what we know here is there is a dragon in there. What we also know is that he wants the crown. The dragon now has the crown. Are we up for making any other deals here? Because if he's shadowing shit, it's weird. It's weird. We get it. Do we think the queen is here? No, I really don't. If I'm going to be honest, I don't think she would maneuver her way around the rubble. So, are we going into the cave? Because at this point, we just have to speak with the dragon.
is-
that was a lot said, but we have the seed.
I got
Is there a way
most
you
of
can
those
check?
words,
At the
but
I don't want to take the seat in that cave.
Do I know that you can send Charlotte to see things? I don't know if I know that.
Probably at this point.
Can you go send Charlotte to check if he just has the crown? Because then, kind of be stupid for us to go get it from him to give it to him.
Or no, no.
She's back.
I'm gonna call her. How
Yeah.
did you?
The spider's back, yes.
Charlotte pops up on your shoulder.
Great. All right. Here you go. One more time.
Is Charlotte being stealthy? Is she going invisible?
She's gonna go. She's gonna go invisible and do it.
Would it help to give Charlotte like a guidance buff? Does that, because you roll for Charlotte, right?
Do.
Before she's just gonna like, with permission, ask to pet Charlotte
Okay.
and cast guidance, which is gonna add a D4 to any of her rolls.
I think it allows you to add a roll. It's not a sustained effect, but if she wants.
Yeah, it's like
to-
concentration up to 1 minute. The target can roll a D4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice.
One ability check of its choice.
Yeah.
Sure. I would let
It
you,
can roll the die before or after making the ability
I would
check.
let you grant a guidance to Charlotte.
Yay.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll for Charlotte.
God, please, Jesus.
At advantage with a D4.
That is an adjusted 20. Is it? Do I have to do it with the D4 or can I wait?
You can wait.
Okay. That's an adjusted 20.
Charlotte begins to crawl forward towards the cave, lounging near the water, surrounded by gold and things, is a large green dragon who sort of cocks his head in the direction of the cave, not quite pinpointing where the sound is coming from, but detecting a bit of sound. Wow. Hello.
Who exactly?
Charlotte.
Can Charlotte
Dragon,
see
Thousand Trails.
Yes.
who else is there? Are there like multiple corridors to this cave? Side rooms, parlors?
Charlotte is standing in place as the dragon begins to walk towards the mouth of the cave. How far back is everybody?
I'm right behind Anduin.
Okay.
Anduin.
I'll say you guys are about 50 feet
And then
away.
still has the seat on
Mandrake's
his back,
going-
right?
Huh?
You still have the seat on your back?
Yep.
I saw it back.
Yeah, he's
Mandrake's gonna find a crag on the side with shadow and duck in.
You're running forward towards the cave.
No,
You are 50 feet away from the cave entrance. You can run
I'm
forward.
saying no. I'm saying off to the side, one of the crags next to the entrance. You know how like cave entrances, they have like boulders.
I'm
and
fully
stuff
aware of
around
this.
them?
I'm explaining to you. You are going to have to run almost towards it as it comes up this way.
Okay. Are there any trees?
Yeah.
I'm gonna duck behind a tree.
Yes. I want to respect your narrative here.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There are no trees. We're
no
in a
trees.
desert.
You're in a desert.
weird. Arizona's like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in Arizona, guys. That's how it is. Yeah.
As he starts to crawl towards the front, I'm gonna dismiss Charlotte, pull her back, and send her back to the caterpillar.
Yeah. His head sticks out of the entrance of the cave and looks around, and it's daunting. This thing is green, scaly. You've never seen anything like it, other than that first time you saw this chameleon walking around.
I'm gonna just a hand on the hilt of my sword, just kind of brace behind my shield. I don't know what's gonna happen. I've never came into a dragon before.
So we're supposed to get you a crown then.
You
And you have the crown.
I do.
So, mission accomplished. You got what you wanted. Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you. You got what you wanted.
I did.
So, we're accomplished here?
I'm very accomplished.
Okay. As I understand it, there was a deal. And we got you the crown.
No. You did not.
Oh, but did we not? Because we did actually end up fighting the people that ran over here and brought you the crown. So by proxy,
How did you get the crown?
by our actions, we...
Royal envoy.
The one who ran away.
No.
No? Which one?
The one that strolled in
Okay.
like they own the place.
Right. As I was saying, by proxy, we gave them the ability to get here to give you the crown. Therefore...
Persuasion at disadvantage.
Oh, God.
As you try to BS a dragon.
17.
You let them walk in.
Well, I think what matters here is that our actions got you the crown.
What did they look like?
They had a face
There
and
were
ears.
3 of them.
Mhm.
Tell me what one of them looked like. And I'll concede.
Volontaire.
Did he
Thanks.
talk to you? Well, I would imagine that they were probably in some royal garb.
Correct.
Hearts. Probably armor that wasn't too
Turns around,
sturdy.
tail swishing.
Which side of history do you want to be on?
The winning one. And he walks back into the cave. You hear a shout from the cave. She looked exactly like you.
We're gonna hurt her. And it's gonna be so good.
So this is the queen's crown? The queen.
But we still have the seed, and they don't have that.
No, how desperate is she that she's willing to give up her crown?
It doesn't matter how desperate the queen is.
It does.
If there is a girl who can convince her that no matter what she does, she cannot win unless she does what that girl says.
Or is that girl falling hard? we were gone for a year, we don't know who she is. We don't know what this play is. We don't know who took out my people and what we can do to stop whatever she's trying to put in place.
I don't disagree with you. So what's our next move now that we don't have a way to care for this seed? Or do we leave it to the druids? Because that seems like what we're focused on right now.
The seed needs to be planted, but I'm not convinced that these woods are safe.
Nor am I.
They're the only woods around.
But
The
he's
safest of the woods we know, but they're not safe.
safe enough.
What about where Bigsby is from? Are they safe? Can he tell
They
us?
just attacked Tanoth.
Ascending to you, Mandrake. Where are you?
She only sent how many words? Where are you? 3? So I can only respond with 3.
No.
No,
you
Just the whole
resp-
25.
Up to 25. Okay,
She
I
just
haven't
doesn't-
played that.
She just doesn't talk.
Okay, okay. Tigress. We are in the forest. Large cave. Green dragon.
I'm into it. I'm into it. Go.
Where are you?
Buy bread gnome. This
Great.
worm is big. Very nice. Gnomes say we watch tree.
Can I relay to them and then send back, or I have to immediately respond?
You could relay to them and then send back.
I'm gonna stop all of this and say it's Tigress. They're here. They're with
It's little
Caterpillar.
kitty cat, right?
Bit late.
We gave them 3 days. Bixby was early. They were actually right on time.
I meant for what happened, but yes.
Off we go then.
Time is
And Edmund
relative.
starts walking towards the caterpillar.
You guys are walking towards the caterpillar, and there is a pyre set up not too far away from the caterpillar. The bodies of the fallen King's Guard, or Queen's Guard, are set up on this pyre and being burned. The druids are being tended to, and there are candles lit everywhere, along with paths of flowers. There's about 7 or 8 of them that are laid across the ground, and there are people gathering musical instruments and food and things of that sort. As all of the druids are lining up, they take the clothes off of the fallen druids and fold them and lay them into a pile, and they begin to scrub the bodies of the druids. You see Tigress and the others who have, Bixby has not left, but Tigress comes over and to where you are and sort of gives you a hug. She is very visibly pregnant, covered in blood, and she looks down and says, "It is not mine." And she smiles, and no one seems to be upset as they go wash. People are engaged in quiet conversation, and you see people preparing a feast of food and flowers set up as this pyre burns. Everyone's engaged in pleasant conversation. After a while, it's 10 bodies that are all lined up.
I would obviously hug Tigress back, congratulate her. And if I remember, I don't know if I did this or not. I don't remember if I meant to do this and I did it, or I believe at some point I asked Bartholomew to make some kind of explosive. At some point I remember something, but I may not have actually done it.
To what purpose?
Just so we would have it in the case we needed it.
Sure. I will say that over the course of the adventure, he's made a bit of an accelerant. Brianna walks over to where you are, though, and she goes, "Are you okay?
No.
What is wrong?"
guess I wanna talk to the caterpillar. I don't know who it was that was attacking him, and I don't know why his eyes looked like that. And I don't understand why we were sent to get a crown that the dragon already has, and why the caterpillar would send us there in the first place, and I just, I'm walking
Chloe.
in circles.
Brianna will sort of wrap her arms around you, and she goes, I'm so sorry, I don't get a lot of this, but we all get to live and find another day.
Okay.
And she goes, this might help a little bit, and she turns you around to face the group that's been, the fallen druids, all of different various sort of makes and species, and who have been freshly cleaned as the remaining druids that are alive begin to cast reincarnate on every single one of the fallen druids. As the spell goes off and every fallen druid sort of that comes to consciousness, each forming a different species on a different sex than from where they started. Different ages, you see sort of hugs from people as they gather around the fallen bodies and sort of embrace them and run forward, and you see that there's several people that have robes of different sizes. Some people are way taller than they were before, some people are very short, and they're having to adjust and move, and Brianna sort of smiles. She's like, this is my favorite part. It's like, we don't lose any of our people. And she goes around and they cast reincarnate 10 times on every fallen druid, of each one coming back as a different form and a different space, getting a robe, and they go over to the caterpillar, and the caterpillar bows, and they put on their robes, and a feast begins. They're just playing musical instruments. It's a celebration of life after death.
Grim.
Where's our goblin friend?
Or what's
Where's
left
our
of
dead
him,
goblin
mean?
friend?
And she like points over to where the
Oh, it's burning.
pyre.
Grim's gonna walk over to Nyx. You can send messages to people far away, yeah?
Yes.
And how does that work? If I need to
Magic.
send a message to someone.
I need to know who they were.
Justice?
Okay, but depending on the message.
Join us.
Okay.
Nyx, what do you say?
Hey Justice, this is Nyx, Grim's friend. He would like you to join us in the forest.
Okay. He yells over, you hear a response that says, on my way.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
There are odd, it's an odd feeling, I think, for everybody, as it feels like there was a loss and a gain and things of that sort. Mandrake.
I'm gonna gather everybody together with the explosives that I've had him make.
What happened to the items that the goblin had? Are they just burning in the
You
fire?
gathered them up.
We
We
gathered,
gathered-
I wrote them down.
Okay. I was staying away from the body, so I
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
I wrote
wasn't
them
sure
down,
what
we
happened.
have them.
Cool.
So I'm gonna gather everybody.
Okay.
We can't let her have that. The caterpillar wanted that green dragon because of its power.
No, he didn't want it. He said that it could wash over the sea.
And now, what does it do?
How far away are you from the caterpillar?
I'm not far at all.
I'm
We
giving
would've
Miss
gathered-
Elizabeth
The
hand.
caterpillar sends a tendril of smoke out to you to beckon you to turn around, and he says, green one?
The dragon he sent us to was green. As green as I am.
No,
Yes.
the one I saw was a bronze color.
Other two dragons in the cave.
He changes.
So we were foiled.
There's a bronze that's trapped
In the cave with the green one.
in the green dragon.
Oh, great and powerful be that.
Like
Yeah.
8 or like.
Could I roll something to see if I know what that dragon actually is?
Yes, you may.
What would you like me to do?
You tell me what you think it is.
I think it's a changeling.
Okay.
Would make sense.
Give me an Arcana check.
He did say it.
Could I assist in any way?
He did make reference to it
You
to our
can
first
roll at
fight.
advantage.
That is a 17.
You know what? It's hard to con a con man. There's something up here. Something's not quite right. I don't think that is what it says it is. It'd be very easy to fake some of the things, and it'd be very easy to con everyone. And as long as you've seen this thing, it hasn't left the cave. It's come close, it's stuck its head close, but it's never left the cave.
Something's not right about it.
What do you mean?
I mean, it changes. Dragons don't do that as I understand it.
So then what could it be then?
It holds to the laws of the Fae. It told me I was a guest and wouldn't hurt me. It asked for my name.
So how do we beat it?
We find out what it is. It hasn't left that cave, but if we can get it out, I suspect we'll figure it out.
I mean, do you have an
I might have a
do
way.
Though when he says that, you realize that he extended the rules of hospitality towards Enwin. The only other person you've seen to do that is Enwin. It asked for his name. Can I have
Right.
your name?
Which is what he just told us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a way to get it out of the cave.
Is it a threat where we need to bother with it though?
If the Queen decided that it was enough of a threat to be on her side, I suspect so.
And then what's the way out of the cave?
I'm gonna hold up the bombs and the 6,000 gold I have.
You think that's enough to lure a dragon out?
It's not a dragon.
And we don't have to lure it out. All we have to do is get this in.
What? You just got an idea.
I'm not sure yet, and I don't want to start chasing our dragon.
There's a quiet moment where you realize that it's not quite as dark outside as you once thought it was, as this being a power is not quite necessarily what it says it is. You all sit down by the fire. The forest is once again safe from the Queen's men and the Queen's guard as you begin to take a long rest
Oh God, thank you.
for the evening. You're sleeping outside, but you are comfortable. Bixelby is there, along with several gnome alchemists from Tanoth who begin setting up small tripwires around the edges of the forest. The rest of the warriors of Dino also begin to sleep atop the trees in the area, setting up a small outpost close to the center. And when you watch through the night, not needing to sleep, Thoe, you can stay up as well if you would so choose, as a clearing is carved out next to the caterpillar. Stones being put into place, and other trees being moved and shoved to the side to clear the canopy for a large tree to go in its place.
Does anyone want to talk to the caterpillar? I know you do. Would you all like to find out if you can get those removed?
Yes.
Yes.
I suspect someone in this forest knows how.
May I have
Or
one
at
of
least
these?
knows what they are. Go for it.
And I'll step forward just to try to have a minute alone with the caterpillar.
Sure.
And I will, this is probably a terrible idea, but I do this. I will bow, place my hat on the ground in front of him.
He will not let you bow. Because he looks in your eyes and he starts getting a little weepy. And as he gets a little weepy, he leaves the stone pedestal that he has not left for quite some time, and as he does, the green caterpillar form that you see amongst you is stripped away as this beautiful woman with long green hair steps forward, and she kisses you on the mouth. as just a strong kiss to the mouth as she like wraps you in her arms. And that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode.
Great.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are the best. That was a crazy battle that took a long amount of time. There's always a spot at the table for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Indigo Connect. And hey, do you wonder? Bye guys.